mahalagang ipaalam sa inyo principal of your intent to apply as Master Teacher 1 or Master Teacher 2. Alam ko maraming mag-a-apply dito, konti lang ang mapipili. Kaya pinakita ko naman sa inyo kung ilan lang yung Master Teacher 1, ilan lang yung Master Teacher 2 na opening. Okay? Lumabas na ba ang... Wala pa? Okay. Alright. Sa Sped Policy Framework, na-edit na namin sa dugo, pinakamadugo yung part namin kasi nandun yung heart ng Sped Policy Framework Manual. Kaya nakita ko rin kung ano pa yung mga dapat ilagay doon. So nalagay ko naman yung mga hinihiling ninyo na ilagay doon. Sana, yun nga lang, matapos ng this school year or malabas na bago magsimula ang school year 2021-2022. Alright? Yung DepEd's Unified Progress Report Card, lalabas na rin daw. Pero yun nga, sana lumabas na rin. Pero hanggat wala pa, so status ko tayo o kung gusto nyo gamitin yung suggested Unified SDO Manila Unified Progress Report Card, pwede naman. Pero kapag 'di ba, ang sabi ko naman sa inyo, kapag nasa inclusion na ang bata, ang magbibigay na ng grade kung full inclusion ay ang regular teacher. Parang tayo ay shadow na lang sa kanila, or katulad sa Manila High, nagsa-sign language interpreter sila, sumasama sila sa virtual class. Minsan, pag may problema, mini-meet pa rin nila. Sino yun? May nagsasalita? Yan. Okay, next slide please. Next slide. Okay, next slide. Yan yung kanina sabi ko. Ayan, Sped supplies ready for delivery. Siguro papakita ko paano ba mag-share screen sa Google. Ayun, meron. Ay, turn caption. Hindi, babasahin ko na lang kung ano yung dito pala sa kabilang ano ko. Or siguro i-send ko na lang sa group kung ano yung mga
Sige,
supplies na
mag-share screen po kayo po, ma'am. I-stop ko po yung screen share natin.
Mo na kasi wala pala dito sa sa anak ko to, kasi mas maganda yung audio dito saka yung camera, mas maganda ako dito, kaya ito yung sinabi ko.
Okay po.
Etong kay Yorme ang nandito yung bubuksan ko muna. Alright, so mamaya pag nakuha ko na dito sa kabilang computer, babanggitin ko kung ano yung mga supplies na dapat makuha ninyo this school year. Iba-iba kasi depende sa hiningi ng principal ninyo. Sila ang nag-request, pero hininga naman nila yung opinion ninyo. And the tablets pala, ito, isa pa. Sa tablets, may mga listahan ako ng mga schools, 'di ba? Binigyan niyo sa akin yung mga needs sa tablets. Tatapos ng taon, need pa rin. Kaso may mga nabigyan na dahil sa mga sponsor, unti-unti. Ang Rizal at saka ang Manila High, nabigyan na sila na para na kompleto na. Pero yung iba, waiting pa ako. Dahil ang sabi sa akin ng SGOD, nung una kasi hiningi sa akin yung lahat ng may kailangan. Siguro yun lang ang available sa kanila na binigay ng sponsors. Kaya yun lang ang nabigyan na school sa ngayon. Pero ang recommendation nila, magsulat ulit ako kay Ma'am Lim, tapos i-attention ko naman sa property services dahil inaayos nila naman yung mga nagbigay o nagbalik ng mga tablets from other schools, nagbalik para ma-consolidate kung ilan tablets pa ang nasa SDO Manila at mabigay sa SPED. Kaso, yun nga, ang latest na sinabi ni Ma'am Emma Katapa, Ma'am Emma pa, saka si Ma'am Beth Nunez pala of SGOD, na mas maganda ang principal na ang mag-request for additional tablets, ay binigay ninyo na number of pero siguro magre-request pa rin ako, tatry ko pa rin sa property para wag na ibigay sa iba, sa Sped na ibigay. Kasi para magamit naman kahit next school year. Or pag merong pang mga donors na magbibigay ng tablet, sa atin mabigay. So ayun, if your principal can also write a letter and tell or address to Ma'am Lim, attention to Ma'am Carol of Property Services para mabigyan kayo kaagad yung mga sobrang tablets na binalik para sa inyo i-assign. Alright? But I will also make a letter para doble. Magsulat na ako, magsusulat pa principal ninyo para if ever anong man ang sagutin, kung yung sulat ko o sulat ng inyong principal, yun ang gagawin natin. Alright? Sa Head Start schedule, ang tentative schedule is July 19 to 23, 2021, July 26 to 30, 2021, and okay, valid. Okay, sige, next slide. Yan, next slide. Tapos bukas may meeting kami, assessment tools ng Head Start kasi may ginawa sila na pinapa-validate nila Ma'am Jennifer sa ni Ace, saka ng ibang Head Start. I want to validate the assessment tools with them para at least may opinion din sila. Alright? Next slide. Meron pa ba akong okay, to conclude next? If you want to be happy, do not dwell in the past. Do not worry about the future, but focus on living fully in the present. So I know it's hard to live in the present because of the pandemic, but we will survive nga. Sabi nga sa song, di ba? Kaya natin yan. Just be happy. Kasi pag nasistress ka, mas lalong nagiging miserable ang buhay. Alright? You are what you think, you are what you say, you are what you do, you are what you eat, lahat na. You are what you do. So that's the end of my supervisor's moment. If you have any questions, sige. Open forum na tayo kasi tumatawag na si Ma'am Blanco pero hindi pa naman to.
Thank you, Ma'am Amsi, for sharing updates and for discussing the issues and concerns regarding special education. So it's Q&A time. Sir Aga, do you have questions there sa ating YouTube?
Yes, sir. Sir Aga.
As of now, ma'am, wala pa po ako nakikita, no? Sana, medyo naglalag din po yung YouTube ko dito. Kasi, umaambon dito kanina, ma'am. Medyo naapektuhan yung signal ko po.
Pero ilan ang nasa FB Live? Marami ba tayo nasa FB Live?
43 po.
43 po sa YouTube po.
Hindi nakasya dito sila. Hindi nakasya dito sa Google Meet.
Yes, ma'am. Bali, as of now, 99 na po dito sa Google Meet. So, yung
100 maximum po.
yes po. So, meron po mayat-maya may nag-100 tayo. Or,
Okay.
first, kung meron pong question, pwede po dito sa ating chat box dito para ma-address po ni Ma'am Amsi. Kung meron po kayo for verification.
Sige. Hindi naman ako aalis. Open pa rin tong laptop ng anak ko. Pag natapos doon, babalik ako ulit dito. Makikinig ako makikinig ako sa kanan, sa Sped Professional Meeting, sa kaliwa, HR. Kasi merong English proficiency exam yung mga new teachers and we are appealing na sana wag na maituloy dahil sa health protocol. Parang buong araw kaming magbabantay. Ngayon lang namin nakita na memo, kasama pala kami. So, we will appeal na sana Kasi 'di ba 20 sa morning, 20 sa afternoon, so 40 na exposure, aircon ka pa. Kaya medyo risky.
Ma'am, baka,
Are there any more questions?
ma'am, question po ako. Ako na magtatanong.
Yes, Ma'am Rosemary.
Opo, regarding po sa step item, ma'am, ano na po kaya yung update tungkol po doon?
Yan ang hindi ko matagal ko nang hinihiling yang reclassification to SPED 3 hanggang ngayon. Yun nga, pati sa central office, nagtanong na rin kami kung magkakaroon ng items na bago for SPED 3, SPED 5, meron pa nga SPED 2, 3, 4, 5, lahat sila May ibang region So, I'm still hoping for the best. Pati yung, sabi ko nga, yung for promotion sa MT1 and MT2, SPED 1 item, ang aking mga SPED, Teacher 3 ang equivalent nun. Pwede ba sila mag-apply? Yun, hanging yung sagot sa akin, pero sana ma-consider. Pero yung sa reclassification, kasi may proseso yan Ay, sa DBM yan, rinirequest ng NCR, tapos dapat din rinirecommend ng principal yung yung teacher. Pero kaya naman siguro yan kung tutulungan tayo ng HR. Dati sabi ni Sir Araw, tutulungan niya tayong makipag-usap sa civil service kaso pandemic na ngayon. Walang makapunta sa mga lugar dahil sa COVID. Hoping, sana matuunan ng pansin yung SPED item kasi ang NCR medyo mababa ang natin Ibang region, parang marami na silang na-reclass Sabi ko nga, majority of our SPED teachers are in SPED 1 have SPED 1 items. Kaya, kasi ang SPED 1 item, nadi-dissolve yan, hindi mo pwedeng i-carry pag nagkaroon ng SPED 3 item. Yung mga SPED item natin, hindi yan katulad ng Teacher 1, maiiwan sa susunod na applicant. Nawawala yung item. Parang siya, pag ikaw ay na-promote, wala nang ibang SPED 1 item, hindi na makukuha yan ng new SPED teacher.
Noted, ma'am. Ma'am, may question po si Sir Dansen. Ma'am, ask po ako ng age ng Head Start. 4.5, pwede na po ba?
Pwede na yan siguro 4.5 kasi kapag ganyan, rine-request nyo rin, nagsusulat din ng letter, tapos sasabihin natin na Head Start siya, yung sa gifted siya. Kasi ang cut-off is yung omnibus na, yung reiteration natin, di ba, is October 31, 4. Something 4.6 ba yun kung as of June, July, August, September, October. Pwede na, kaya naman siguro pag Head Start, kaya kasi sa KSEP napapasok natin yung mga kinder catch-up na walang kinder na background Basta magle-letter yung principal, gano'n naman ang ginagawa ng Head Start since then na kapag merong underage na sobrang underage, pero siguro limit na natin sa 4.5, baka hindi makayanan ng LIS yung system Pero so far naman, parang nakaya naman ng system yung mga ganyang age 4.5.
Regardless na yun, ma'am, kung anong magiging opening ng klase, mag-a-adjust pa yun.
Kasi ang talaga is yung omnibus natin, 4.5 by June Last day of June. Tapos kapag 'di ba, ini-extend lang kapag nag-open ng ganito, August, October 31 na ang cut-off. Pero sure naman tayo na na tayo Pwede na yung October 31 na Pero yung 4.5 baka i-request pa yun. susulat address to SDS Slim yung letter, susulat ninyo kung reason kung na yung bata ay under the Head Start program of the gifted and talented, blah blah blah, ganon. Tapos bibigay naman sa akin yung letter ninyo. Gagawan ko ng approval. Bibigay ulit kay initial ng chief, babalik kay SDS, a-approve niya, dadalhin kay Ma'am Daisy. Sila na mag-a-assign. Alam ko yung system naka-design na for Head Start, parang in-adjust na ng BLDSID yan dahil request nga namin noon eh. Kasi mas younger dapat tayo eh kaysa doon sa regular.
Okay, ma'am. So, Sir Dansen, malinaw na po. Thank you daw po from Sir Dansen. Sir Aga, may question po ba tayo dyan?
Hindi daw makapasok yung lukban.
Wala.
Putol-putol daw po ang YT.
Wala pa po sa YouTube, Ma'am Rosemary, wala pa po. Yung nandito po si Sir Idroy, wala pa rin po.
Siguro, naka-record ba tayo?
nagtatanong.
Parang hindi ata naka-record.
So, matik na po sa YouTube drama review. Pardon to Sir Idroy.
Hala, pag nakita ko sa YouTube, expose beauty ko. Makakala si BP ang nag-seminar. Si BP nag-professional meeting. Saka maririnig yung mga comments ko. Lagot.
Biglang nag-viral, ano po. So far, ma'am, wala na pong ibang question dito.
Okay, so marami tayong mga best teaching practices na yung dalawa yung ating resource speakers for today. Sana may matutunan kayo sa ating professional meeting. That's why I invited everyone. So sana makapanood pa sa FB Live yung iba. So God bless all of you and take care of yourself kasi health is wealth. Kailangan talaga malakas ang immune system natin ngayon at malakas ang ating stress tolerance. Mabuhay ang Speders. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Ma'am Amsi. So a virtual round of applause for Ma'am Amsi. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Mag-picture taking tayo ba? Para mamaya, baka mamaya magtapos na kayo, hindi ko na kayo maabot. Open the cam muna.
So, Idroy, mag-picture taking muna po tayo.
Habang 101 pa tayo.
Please open your cam, pictures.
Sir Aga, naka-Amerikana. Talagang pinanindigan ng Amerikana. Pogi Totoo kay Sir Aga. Smile na ba? Sabihin niyo naman,
po.
smile.
Okay po.
Ready po?
Ready po.
3,
3,
2,
2,
1,
1,
smile.
smile.
Okay po.
Ay, si Sir Mar.
Thank you, Sir Idroy. Thank you, ma'am.
Miss ko na yung mga yung ating sports officers.
Okay, so thank you, Ma'am Amsi, once again. And let's move on now to attendance checking. So let's find out how many participants do we have for today's meeting. May I call on Sir Richard Ariston from Tibor Gross Elementary School for the attendance checking. Go ahead, sir.
Yes po. Good morning, everyone. Ayan. Sa ating attendance, simple lang po ang ating gagawin. Raise hand na lang po siguro sa bawat representative na nandito as I will call your name. Dahil, ayan, mayroon naman po tayong yun. So, base sa response ng pre-registration, ito na po ang ating data for our attendance. To be recognized, in no particular order, I will call your school and then you may raise your hand or you may open your mic and say present. You may also open your camera. Ayan. So, first in my list is P. Gomez. P. Gomez po. Yan, present. Hanggang po, maraming representative. 31. Very good. Ayan. Next po, ang Santa Ana. Santa Ana, raise hand or say present. Any representative?
Present.
Santa Ana. Ayan. Very good.
Present.
Yes po. Next ay Lukban. Ang nagagandahang mga teachers. Lukban.
Present.
As.
Present,
Buti na lang.
sir.
Present.
Ayan.
Present.
Yan po. So, po.
Sobrang tagal po ng oras sa loob.
Next po,
Sobrang init.
Aurora from Aurora.
Present.
Present. Then, more from Aurora. Next po ay from Palma. Palma Elementary School.
Present.
Present. Po. Very good. Next po, Manila High. Yan. Yung kumanta.
Present po.
Oo, si vocalist ng Hillsong, Amazing Love. Ako, Ma'am Rochelle talaga. Oo, napakaganda ng kanta ninyo. Salamat po. From my alma mater, yun alma mater tuloy. Burgos Elementary School. Ayan po, nakikita ko po. Emily, po.
Present.
Teachers. And po. Next po, from Magsaysay High School.
Present po.
Ayan, si Ma'am Janet. Hello, Ma'am Janet. Pakibiyay na rin po ako, Ma'am Janet. Ayan po.
Hello, Sir Richard.
Hello po, Ma'am Janet. Next po, from PGH. Ano po ba from PGH? Anyone? My one. Say present po. Nakamute po yata siguro. Pero at least naka-register po sila. Thank you po from PGH. Then next ay from Sikat Elementary School. Sped Center. Sikat. Hello. Teachers from Sikat. Apa, siguro may
Present.
ayun, may present. Ma'am Juliet. Thank you po, Ma'am Juliet. Next po, from Ligonda Elementary School.
Present.
Ayun.
Present po.
Ay, si Ma'am.
Present po.
Mag-present na po ang Thank you po.
Present.
Yes po, thank you.
Present. Present po. Present.
Yes po. Thank you. From Bosco Elementary School.
Present. Mabuhay ang mga taga-Pugoso.
Pagkatapos ng attendance.
Salamat po.
Next po, from Rizal Elementary School.
Present po.
Ayan po.
Present.
Ma'am Glo. Ayan po.
Present.
Sir Aga. Thank you.
Magandang hapon.
Gandang hapon.
Magandang hapon.
Next po ay from Obrero Elementary School.
Present po.
Present po.
Present. Yan. So, yan.
Bunso ko po sa cards.
Yan po. So that completes our attendance for today. Maraming salamat. Well represented po lahat ng ating enjoy the rest of our meeting. Maraming salamat.
Kasi hindi po kami magkasundo ngayon ng
Double check na lang po yung inyong mga microphone, yung mga naka-open pa po. Pakimute na lang po muna before we proceed. Ayan. Thank you po. Okay. Reminder po, teachers, there will be an evaluation link later after the meeting. And also, always keep your microphone on mute. Okay, now let's move on. Let's discover, be inspired, and share vibes for our thought for today. Let's welcome Miss Ria C. Sereno of Albert Elementary School. Good afternoon.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am Rose. Blessed afternoon to you all. Ma'am, okay ba ang aking audio?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So again, once again, good afternoon. So to start off, I'd like to ask you all to close your eyes. Ma'am, naka-present na po ba ang ating... Oh, I'm sorry. We'll just wait for the presentation. Yan. Next slide, please. Okay, so again. So to start off, may I ask everyone, yes, good afternoon po. I'd like you all to please close your eyes and imagine a following scenario. As you can see there in the slide, okay? You are walking down the street and you see someone you know on the other side. You smile and wave at him, but he just keeps walking without responding at all. So how do you feel with what happened? So you may open your eyes now and you may type your answers in the chat box. Thank you. Next slide, please. So, well, the way you feel in that situation, which I asked you to imagine a while ago, the way you feel in that situation will depend a lot on your thoughts. If you think, what's the matter? Why is he ignoring me? Have I done something to upset him? Then you might start feeling anxious or worried. If you think, why didn't he respond? Doesn't he like me? Then you might start feeling sad. And if you think, what's his problem that is so rude? What's wrong with him? Then you might start feeling angry. And if you just think, oh, I guess he didn't notice me, then you may not have much of an emotional response at all, or what we call mild disappointment. The point here is that the situation itself does not determine how we feel. The way that we feel depends on the thoughts that we have in response to the situation. Next slide, please. So what do you see here? What do you see here in this slide? Yes, correct. That is a hand. Now, can I see your right hand? It's okay if, yes, you can turn on your camera for this. Can I see your right hand? Okay, thank you. Now, using your index finger or the pointer finger from the other hand, please write the word control in your hand. CONTROL. Anywhere, as long as it is a part of your hand. It could be here in your palm, it could be in your fingers, in your knuckles, or in your wrist. Now, please do the same on the other hand. Write the word control. And all together, let us read the word control. And on the other hand, let's read control. Thank you, ma'ams and sirs, for participating. The hand is an important visual reminder of control. If something is in our hands, we are in control of it. But if something is not in our hands, we are not in control of it. So when we try to hold on to something tightly in our hands that is truly outside our control, that can leave us feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. It's like allowing ourselves to be prisoners of things that we have no control of, or prisoners of things that we cannot actually change. So within our control here are our opinions, our attitudes, our efforts, behaviors, actions, our aspirations, our dreams, our desires, and goals. We control how we spend our time, how productive we are, what we read, what we wear, what we eat, what movie or TV series that we will watch, and who we choose to spend time with. So outside our control sits everything else: our family, our race, our country, and even the body structure that we were born into. How life's events unfolded, the climate, the weather, the boom and bust cycle of our economy, even the pandemic and public health situation. These are examples to cite of. The message here is clear. Trying to control or change what isn't within our control will only drain our energy, zap or use up our power, and leave us in vain or might even torment us later on. So we have to focus on what we can control, such as the three hows. First, how do we perceive the situation? Second, how do we react to that situation? And third, how do we respond to that situation? So the next time that we find ourselves in the same situation, take a look at your hand. Everyone, take a look at our hand like this. And let us ask ourselves, what is worrying me? What is within my control? What matters to me and what can I do about it? Which leads us to our final thoughts. We might disagree with and disapprove of the situation we are in, but we can choose to accept it. Accepting a situation does not mean that we have to like it or condone it. Rather, it means that we need to stop fighting it. Once we learn to accept what is and focus our energy on what we can control, we become effective and we win. That's all, and thank you. Good afternoon once again.
Thank you, Ma'am Ria, for that reflective thought. So it made me parang bumabalik ako sa psychology years ko.
Thank you.
Like I'm listening to an expert psychologist. So
Aw,
thank you, Ma'am Ria. Ma'am
thank you.
So it made me reflect on my attitude, effort, and the behavior. Okay, so let's move on. Now, be ready and be energized. So for our unfreezing activity, may I call on Ms. Jenica Holano of Legarda Elementary School. Take it away, Ma'am Jenica.
Hello, good afternoon, fellow SPED teachers and Ma'am Nancy. To continue, let's keep our mind active and our eyes open by answering the next presentation. For those who are watching sa YouTube, you can type your answer on the comment section, and for those who are here in the Meet, you can type your answer sa ating chat box. Okay.
Okay, so Ma'am Janica, thank you for the translating activity. Counted ba yung buko tsaka yung nyog? Pwede na rin ba yun?
Pwede na rin, ma'am.
Ang dami nagkamali dun sa sa rabbit at saka pusa. Okay, so thank you once again, Ma'am Janica. Now, I know that we are all eager to hear updates and trends from our respected speakers today. So let's get to know our speakers for today. Ms. Marby Burgos, our SPED Manila President, and from Quezon Elementary School will now introduce our speakers for today. Take it away, Ma'am Marby.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Rose. Okay, to our SPEC supervisor, Ma'am Amsi Esteban, fellow teachers, a pleasant afternoon. Today, this task of introducing our first speaker is a great privilege. I know this one is difficult, but the thought that he is a man of virtue and simplicity, I feel elated to introduce him. Our speaker is a native of Tarlac. He is a SPED teacher for how many years now? His ambition to become a famous in line with his chosen profession made him motivated to continue his MA studies, attending workshops and seminars. To highlight his greatest achievement, he was awarded as research presenter of the International Research Enhancement Development Reading Comprehension for Children with Hearing Impairment during the GSIS DepEd Metrobank National Conference for Teachers 2019. He is presently the LIS coordinator of P. Gomez Elementary School, and he is also one of the great ICT experts in the Division of Manila. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Sir Idroy C. Dolorosa. Let's give him our virtual clap.
Yan, good afternoon po sa ating lahat. Okay po, sana malinaw po kami sa inyong end. And malinaw po ba kami ngayon, Ma'am Marvy and Ma'am Marie?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay
Loud and
po.
clear, sir.
Thank you po. Ayan, ang aking presentation po for today ay Introduction of Interactive Platform featuring Peer Deck. Ano po? Madami pong nagsisulputang applications, ano po, na para daw po sa interactive. Kaya naman, namili kami ng isa dahil ito po yung most appropriate sa age level po namin. By the way po, maikwento ko lang po, bago po namin na-discover ang application na ito, meron kaming isang estudyante. Opo, ayan. Meron po kaming isang estudyante. Meron po kaming isang estudyante ngayon na ang parent po ay marunong. Ibig sabihin po talagang hands-on sa kanyang anak. At naikwento po niya sa amin na kapag therapy po nung kanyang anak, ay meron po silang platform na ginagamit. Tapos nung tinanong po namin, in-interview po namin yung parent, ang sabi po niya, paid account daw po yung ginamit. Kaya kami, sa atin, ang 1,500, 200 ay isang malaking bagay na po. Kaya, na-discover po namin ang Peer Deck. Actually, hindi naman na po bagong bagay ito sa atin dahil ito po ay na-present sa atin during inset natin, National Inset, noong day 4. Ano po? Kaya hayaan nyo po na i-present namin sa inyo kung ano po ang Peer Deck at ano po ang kagandahan ng Peer Deck. So ano nga po ba ang Peer Deck? Ang Peer Deck po ay nagbibigay ng interactives sa mga students natin na sila mismo ang sasagot po ng mga tanong and activities sa kanilang sariling screen. Ano po? So one way kasi lagi dito sa Google Meet, ano po? Kapag nagbigay ako ng activity, for example, isulat nyo nga ito, ginagawa naman po iyon ng students natin gamit ang kanilang notebook or ang kanilang mga papers. Dito po, screen po ang susulatan o kukulayan po nila mismo tulad ng mga play-based games. Ano po? So yung dito po sa Peer Deck, tayo po ang nagde-design ng ating mga activities. Ano po? Also, Peer Deck help you engage every student in every seat and give formative assessment no matter what grade or subject you teach. Dito po mga kasama, una po kasi talaga naming narinig ang peer deck, hindi po sa inset. Ano po? Narinig po namin yan sa isa naming kakilala na nagtuturo sa high school. Ano po? Present niya sa amin ang peer deck at siya din po mismo ay gumagamit ng peer deck. Ano pa po ba ang mga advantages ng peer deck? Ang peer deck po ay ginagamit ko personally for asynchronous and synchronous. At the same time po yun. Sir, paano po yun? Kapag synchronous, mamaya lagyan natin ng emphasis mamaya. Sige po. Also, Peer Deck supports an interactive and community-focused classroom that helps students build confidence and comprehension. Nasanay kasi tayo sa paggamit ng Google Meet na one-way nga lang po. Kaya yung STEAM ng mga bata natin, yung kakulitan ng mga bata natin ay stagnant sa upuan. At dahil stagnant yon sa upuan at wala silang ginagawa, hindi po sila nakakapag-focus ng maayos. So sa gamit po o sa tulong po ng Peer Deck ay nababawasan natin yung kanilang STEAM at natutulungan natin silang mag-focus doon sa itinuturo po natin. So ito po yon. Paano po ba i-install ang Peer Deck? Mamaya magkakaroon po tayo ng hands-on. Ano po? Paano po ba i-install ang Peer Deck? Ang gagawin nyo po muna dyan ay i-upload nyo yung ginawa nyong PowerPoint sa inyong Google Drive at i-convert po ito ng Google Slides. Pagkatapos po nun, ay pupunta na po tayo sa add-ons. Kiklik natin ang Get Add-ons. Hanapin sa search bar po ang Peer Deck at i-install. Sa kalagayan ko po ay install na po siya kaya ang nakikita nyo na po ngayon sa ating screen ay uninstall. Pagkatapos po nun, ganun pa din po, add-ons, Peer Deck for Google Slides, add-on, tapos open Peer Deck add-on. Yan. Tapos lalabas po ang portion na ito. Yang portion na yan, mga kasama, ay ito po yung mga activities na pwede nating ibigay sa mga students natin, tapos sila po mismo ang gagawa. Ano po? Ito po, itong nakalagay na text, ibig sabihin yan, pag nagtanong kayo ng mga asking questions. For example, who is the character? Sino ba yung character na nasa story na binanggit nyo? What's your name? Pwede po nilang i-type gamit ang kanilang keyboard o ang kanilang mga devices. Ano po, mamaya ipapakita po namin yan. Also, kapag choices naman po, andyan po yung mga multiple choices. Ano po? So, pwede rin po dyan ang tama o mali o kaya yung classic na A, B, C, D. Ano po? Sa numbers, ay katulad lang din po sa text. Numbers lang po ang itatype. Ito po ang isa sa pinakagusto ko. Si website. Si website po ay pwede kayong mag-embed o maglagay ng mga YouTube or mga videos nyo na nasa inyong drive para mapanood po ninyo sa klase. Ano po? Sir, paano yun? Paano namin makokontrol yun? Hindi po kayong magkokontrol. Sila po mismo. Sir, di paano gagawin yun? I-click lang po nila yung link na nasa ibaba at magre-redirect na po yun agad doon sa nakalagay na video sa inyong slides. Sa drawing naman po, ito po ay isa sa pinaka-classic na activity po natin. Ang pagdodraw or pagtitrace. Dito naman po, ine-enhance natin ang kanilang fine motor skills. Sa draggable naman po, dito naman po yung mga like button, dislike, happy face, sad face, check mark, X mark, plus, minus, lahat po yun ay available po dyan. Itong add audio to slides, ito po personally ay ginagamit ko po para po sa asynchronous ko. Sa asynchronous ko po. Kasi ang ginagawa ko po dyan, bawat slides, ano po, ay nilalagyan ko ng recording. Ano po, tapos isasend ko po yung link sa mga magulang at pwede po nilang i-access yon anytime, any day. So, nakapagklase po ako, nakapag-catch up po yung mga magulang. Kaya sa klase ko po, wala pong dahilan ang mga magulang para hindi makahabol sa klase. Ano po? Sir, paano yun? Paano yung grades? Paano namin i-check yung kanilang mga performance? Proceed po tayo. Meron po kasi tayong dalawang lesson mode sa Peer Deck. Ano po? Ang una ay ang student phase activity. Dito po, ito po yung binabanggit ko kanina na pwedeng gawin ng mga bata remotely. Ayan, ito po, nakita nyo po, asynchronously. Ibig sabihin, may naka-recording doon na voice ko, na ako po yung nagtuturo, at meron din pong activity doon na ako din po ang gumawa. Ano po? Kasi, aminin man po natin o hindi, may mga available talaga tayong materials ngayon, pero hindi naman lahat yon ay applicable sa mga bata natin. Kaya kailangan talaga nating mag-devise, gumawa, mag-modify ng mga materials suited for them. Kaya yun po yun. Yung isa naman po nating mode ay yung instructor phase. Ito naman po ay para sa synchronous. Ibig sabihin, online po. Ano po? Ayan, mamaya masusubukan po natin yan. Real time po ang instructor phase. Ang student phase ay sa sarili nilang flexi time. Okay po. Okay, ito po. Pag clinic na po nila yung link, yung mga magulang po, ito po yung makikita naman ninyo sa inyong screen. Para makuha ang link, kiklik lang po itong give student a link. Tapos lalabas po ang notification na link copied to clipboard. So pwede nyo na po yung isend sa chat box ng inyong Google Meet o ng inyong kung anumang platform po ang gagamitin nyo. Kung synchronous po, gagamit talaga tayo ng Google Meet para makausap natin sila at marinig nyo sila. Kung asynchronous naman po kung asynchronous, pwede na po isend yung link sa Google sa group po ninyo sa GC sa Messenger. Ayan, sige po, proceed po tayo. Mamaya po ipapasubok po namin yan sa inyo para matry nyo rin po. Pag na-click nyo naman po yung open teacher dashboard, ano po? Ito po ang lalabas. Ano po? Ibig sabihin, ima-manipulate nyo na po ang inyong PowerPoint. Ano po? Unlike po kasi sa Zoom, yung tinatawag na annotate, dun po ay dinedisable o ine-enable pa po yun para po makapagsulat yung mga bata o hindi. Dito po, ilipat mo lang sa slide na walang naka-embed o walang nakalagay na Peer Deck slide ay hindi na po sila makakasagot at makikinig na po sila. At ito po yung mga examples ng activities. Ayan. So, ito po, makikita nyo po, ayan, dito po may activity po sila. Ito po yung classroom. Sila po yung mga estudyante ko. Ano po? Makikita nyo rin po kung online sila or offline. Kung online sila, ibig sabihin nasa synchronous pa sila. Kung offline na po sila, ay hindi pa po sila nakakagawa. Ito naman po yung kung papaano nyo i-check ang kanilang mga output. For example, dun sa activity ko dito, ang tamang sagot ay kami. Ayan po, pwede nyo pong lagyan ng star at pagkatapos ng inyong klase, ay magkakaroon na po yan ng Google Sheet na naglalaman po ng points ng inyong mga students na sumagot for that particular day. Sir, paano yung mga gustong humabol sa lesson namin? Mare-record pa din naman po yun for 30 days. Ano po? After 30 days, yung recording na to po ay mawawala na po siya. Ito po yung binabanggit po namin. After 30 days ay mawawala na po yung recording ninyo. So, kunyari nag-record po kayo ng May 1. Ano po? Mawawala po yun at mapupunta po yun sa archives sa May 31 or June 1. Ano po? Sige po. Ngayon, alam kong hindi nyo talagang to na-appreciate dahil hindi nyo po nasusubukan. Ito na po yung aking last slide. Po, puntahan ngayon natin ang activity. Sige po. Sana po lahat ay makasama dun sa gagawin nating hands-on. Ito po, ganito po yung lagi ko pong ginagawa sa klase ko. Sinesend ko po yung link sa ating chat box. Sa mga nasa YouTube po, sisend ko din po gamit ang ating chat box. Ayan. Pwede nyo pong i-click yan at ipapakita po namin sa inyo kung ano po ang lalabas sa presentation po na may peer deck. Ayan. So, dito po, ayan, makikita nyo na po agad kung sino yung mga nandito sa online. Ang ginagawa natin ngayon ay part ng synchronous. Ibig sabihin, online po tayo parehas. Ayan. Sige po. Yung mga nakapag-join na po, meron kayong makikita sa inyong lower right na icon ng audio. Pwede nyo pong i-play yun at pakinggan. Ano po? Ibig sabihin, kapag pinapakinggan nyo po yun, nasa asynchronous type naman na po kayo. Ano po? Ito po kasi ay naka-record na for asynchronous and synchronous. Ano po? Sige po. Kapag naka-25 tayo, start na tayo. Ayan, okay. Sige po. Madalas, sa klase ko po, ang ginagawa ko po dito ay pinagdodrawing ko po muna sila bago kami mag-start. Sige nga daw po. Mag-drawing nga daw po yung mga 27 participants natin. Ayan. Sir, ang hirap naman pala. I-scroll nyo pa hanggang baba. Meron pa pong different types of layouts dito. Pwede nyo pong i-grid. Sir, papaano namin makikita kung sino yung mga hindi pa nag-submit? Pwede nyo pong i-scroll down at i-call out sila isa-isa. Ano po, tulad ng ginagawa natin ngayon sa Google Meet, naririnig nyo po yung aking instruction pero ginagawa po ninyo sa inyong screen. Ayan. So, kunyari, ito po sino to? Si Katrina. Ayan, si Ma'am Katrina. Star po kita. Ayan, itong flower, star ko din po. Yung kay Ma'am Genevieve. Kay Ma'am Karen, star din po. Siyempre, di tayo papatalo. May nakita ako dito eh. Naku! Ito, pusuan natin yung kay Sir Mar. Ayun. Ayan, okay po. So, example lang po yung ginawa po namin ha. Isang part lang po yan ng peer deck. Ano po? At kung natutuwa talaga kayo, ano po, pwede nyo pong i-screenshot yan, isa-isa, at ipakita ninyo sa mga magulang. Ano po? Pero kung gusto nyo naman as group work, ay pindutin nyo po yung grid layout para makita po ninyo lahat. Okay. So, palitan natin yung activity. Ito po. Ilagay ang check mark sa wastong larawan na nagpapakita ng single parent na ang kasama ay si tatay. Sige nga daw po. Ang view na nakikita nyo po ngayon ay ang overlaid layout. Ibig sabihin, sa slide na to ay nakikita ko na ang inyong mga sagot. Ano po? Pagpasensya nyo na po, dadaan yung aking mahabang kotse. Ayan, dadaan po yung aking mahabang kotse. Saglit lang po ha. Habang ginagawa nyo yung activity. Ayan, dumaan na ho yung aking mahabang kotse. Ayan. Hindi po appropriate o akma yung overlaid layout para sa activity na ito dahil hindi nyo po alam kung sino yung checkan ninyo. Kaya ulitin po natin, pwede po kayong gumamit ng grid layout para makita ang bawat sagot ng estudyante ninyo at lagyan ng star pagkatapos. Ayan, for example ito, si Sir, hindi ko po mabasa ng buo pasensya na po ha, maliit yung aking screen. So ayan, kung may mga students po kayo na hindi pa nakapag-participate, pwede nyo po silang i-call out dito sa baba. Ano po, once na nag-response na po sila, mababawasan po yan at aakyat yung kanilang pangalan sa itaas. Ano po? Sige, maglagay pa tayo ng ibang halimbawa. Okay, ito, isa ito sa pinaka nagustuhan ko nung time na na-discover ko ito. Ang time to trace. Let's trace the word to parent. Ayan, pwede po kayong gumamit ng iba't ibang kulay. Ano po? Para po maging creative ang inyong trace. Ayan. So, di po ba? napapansin nyo, yan po ay sariling gawa ng mga bata. Ano po? Ayan. So, ulitin po natin. Pwede nyo pong i-call out yung mga nandito sa ibaba kung hindi pa sila nakakapag-participate. Ano po? Ayan. So, habang nagre-response sila, ay nababawasan po yung mga pangalan na nasa ibaba at makikita nyo na po dito sa itaas. Ayan. Sir, paano ka naman makikita kung yung mga hindi nagre-response online pa o offline na? Meron po dito sa itaas. Ito po, 40/43. Ibig sabihin po nun, 40 ang online at yung tatlo doon sa yung remaining po doon sa 40 ay offline. Patunayan natin. Ito po, for example, na-disconnect si bata, nawala siya. Makikita nyo pong offline siya. Ano po, ito rin po. Makikita nyo po kasi sila kung offline. Pero kung nasa Google Meet naman po sila, pwede nyo po silang i-notify na nanay, tatay, pwede nyo pong i-click ulit yung link para makabalik po kayo dito sa ating interactive link. Ayan. So, ganyan po siya, ano. So, ito, for example, may mga pagkakataon talaga na merong hindi proper, ano po, yung kanyang activity. Ano po, pwede nyo po siyang bigyan ng feedback. Ano po, meron pong 3 button dito. Ano po, si star answer, ibig sabihin tama, leave feedback, at isang icon student bar menu. Unahin natin yung pinakahuli. Ibig sabihin, itatago natin yung kanyang response. Ano po, hindi na natin siya makikita sa part na to. Pero, hindi kasi tayo ganon bilang teacher. Ang ginagawa natin ay nagbibigay tayo ng feedback. So, pwede po ninyo itong i-customize, tapos, masasend po yan doon sa kung kanino naka-address yung feedback. Ano po, hindi po yan makikita ng ibang klase. At pwede din po silang mag-reply po sa inyo. Ano po? Sige po. Dito sa bandang ibaba, ano po, ito po yung show response, ito po yung ipinapakita po namin. Lock screen, ibig sabihin hindi po namin maililipat yung screen. At new prompt, ibig sabihin meron kaming bagong ilalabas na slide na wala dito sa ginawa namin. Tulad po nung ginawa namin kanina na ito po, yung sa drawing. Ano po? Ito po yung mga pwede nating gamiting additional tools. So, sige, puntahan natin. Meron pa ba akong ibang halimbawa dito? Ayan. Ito po, for example. Ayan. Piliin ang tamang sagot. Ano kaya ang tamang titik na ating idadagdag sa salitang ote upang maging sapat o tamang salita? Ayan. So, dito naman po, kapag nakita po ninyo, pag nag-grid po kayo dito, makikita nyo naman po lahat. Ano po? Makikita nyo po lahat kung ano po yung kanilang mga sagot. Pero, kung yung isang layout or view layout naman ang ginamit ninyo, makikita nyo pa din naman po kung sino-sino yung mga sumagot doon sa multiple choice. Ayan, ito po. Tapos, sige nga daw po, meron nga daw pong sumubok na sumagot ng letter B o kaya C. Example lang po naman po ito for the sake of demo. Ayan, for example, ayan sila. So, ang gagawin po nila, ayan, nakikita nyo din po yung variation ng mga sagot sa isang tinginan lang. Unlike po doon sa ating grid view kanina, ay iisa-isahin pa po natin sila. Okay po. Sige po, hanap pa tayo ng ibang example. Ito po yung sinasabi ko po kanina na virtual story time. Pwede nyo pong i-click, pwede nyo pong i-click yung link na nasa inyong screen at i-redirect po niyan kayo sa ating kwento o doon sa naka-embed na video po dyan. Ang naka-embed na video po dyan ay ito. Ang kwento ng pamilyang nagtutulungan. Ito
tayo sa araw na ito. Handa na ba kayo?
Ayan, syempre hindi na po natin tatapusin yon dahil medyo mahaba na po yan. Okay po. Aha, ano pa ba? Okay. So kung napansin nyo po merong mga variation ng lesson o ng activities ang pwede po nating gawin na maging interactive po sa mga bata. Ano po? Kasi ang peer deck ay isang tailored or modified interactive activity na para sa mga bata po natin. Okay po. Okay, ang gagawin po kasi natin gamit ang peer deck ay pwede po nating i-record na yung mga magiging lesson natin ako po personally, magiging honest po ako sa inyo. Sa dami po ng mga paperworks na pinapagawa sa atin, aminin man po natin o hindi, ay may mga pagkakataon po talaga na nag-a-adjust tayo ng klase o hindi tayo nagkaklase. Pero po, simula po nung na-discover po namin ito na po yung ginagamit naming recording. Dati kasi ang ginagamit po naming recording ay video. Purely MP4 lang po siya na piniplay, pinapakinggan ng mga bata. So still, one-sided pa din po siya. Hindi po siya two-way process na nagbibigay ako ng instruction, gagawin mo yung activity. Ang ginagawa lang po doon is merely receive, receive, receive. Kasi dito, hindi si magulang ang magi-instruct. Tayo po mismo. Dahil ito po ay naka-record. Pwede nyo po ulit subukan kasi meron pong naka-embed na audio dyan. Sa lower right corner. May maririnig po kayong instruction dyan regarding po sa ating activity. So, hindi po magkakaroon ng kalituhan ang ating mga magulang kung ano ba yung activity na yan. Dahil tayo po ang nagbibigay ng instruction at hindi po sila. Ang role lang po ng parent dito ay i-assist ang mga bata papunta sa link at kung nahihirapan sila sa paggamit ng screen. Yun lang po. Pero yung process na kung paano nila gagawin ay sila lang po ang gagawa ng activity. Alam po namin na ang ibinigay na oras sa amin ay hindi sapat, para talagang talakayin ang peer deck. Kaya kung sakali po, mamaya sa ating evaluation, pwede po ninyong ilagay doon sa suggested activity or training po natin ang tungkol po sa peer deck at magre-request naman po kami kung papayagan po tayo. Kasi personally po talagang napakalaki ng tulong po nito sa akin. Ang nangyari nga po dito, ganito na po yung naging notice ko na sa mga parent. Yan. So, for example, ito po. Ganito po siya. So, April 23, ESP Filipino. I-click na lang po yan ng magulang at magpuproceed na sila sa recording ng ESPN Filipino under ng April 23. Ganon din po for April 27, MTB and AP. I-click lang po nila yung link at magpuproceed na sila sa lesson for MTB and AP for April 27. Hindi po namin sila nire-required na pumasok sa mismong online class namin. Bakit? Dahil kilala po namin yung mga parents namin, kaya alam po namin yung kanilang capability tungkol sa mga bagay na ito. Kaya ang nangyari po ay kami na po ang nag-adjust for them. So, ang ginagawa na lang po ng mga magulang dito, kapag available po sila, ay sumasagot po sila ng kanilang mga modules, kasama ng kanilang mga anak, ay ginaguide nila yung kung paano gawin yung activity o yung lesson. Okay, good question po yun. Sir, paid po yan. Tama po, yan pa din po ay paid version. Pero, nung una po namin yan na-try, ay umabot po yan ng 65 days trial period. Okay po. Sir, 65 days lang naman. Paano yun? Okay po. Ganito po ang gagawin natin dyan. Sa paggamit po ng Peer Deck, ay madaming email dapat ang kailangan natin. Kung gusto nyong i-prolong. Ano po? Kung gusto nyong i-prolong. For example, meron kang G Suite. That's 60 days. 65 days. Meron kang DepEd email plus 65 days. Meron ka pang personal email. Yan ay 65 days ulit. So, ilan na po siya? Ano po? 195 days. Ano po? Sir, paano po sa susunod na school year? Ayan po. Kung para naman po sa susunod na school year, yan po ay wina-workout namin na i-present sa division office po natin. Magkaroon tayo ng paid account. Ano po? Kaya tulungan nyo po sana kami, kung inyo pong mamarapatin, ay banggitin po natin dun sa portion ng suggested seminar or topic or enhancement training, ang Peer Deck po para mabigyan po namin ng emphasis. Ano po, para magkaroon kami lalo ng drive para i-suggest po ito sa ating division. Ano po, alam ko po, nangangarap lang po ako sa pagsasuggest ng ganitong application sa ating division, pero wala naman pong masamang sumubok. Ano po, sige po. Kung meron pong mga inquiry, pwede na po kayong magtanong. Ito po. Pero from Ma'am Genevieve. Pero di po ba drag and draw will not be able for free for a month or so? Paid version na lang siya. Okay. Yung pinakita ko po sa inyo kanina ay isang premium account. Pero hindi po siya paid account. Trial po siya. Ano po? Kaya, ang mangyayari po doon, magagamit nyo po lahat ng premium side po ng Peer Deck kapag kayo ay nasa trial. Ulitin ko lang po 65 days po siya. Ano po? 65 days. Pero sir, yung paid version ng Peer Deck ko lang pwede ang drag and draw after 1 month na trial. Kasi been using Peer Deck since first quarter. Ako naman sir, I use Nearpad rin kasi dahil madami rin siyang activities. Okay po, pwede din naman po, hindi ko pa po natatry yung Nearpad, pero salamat po sa pagsasuggest para ma-explore din po namin siya. Pero ayun nga po, nung ginamit ko po kasi yung Peer Deck, ang una ko pong ginamit na email ad ay yung aking G Suite. So yung G Suite ko po ay binigyan po ako ng 65 free trial days. 65 days trial po pala, sorry. Nearpad. Okay po, sige po. Magkano po ang paid version ng Peer Deck? Actually po, nakipag-communicate na po ako sa Peer Deck tungkol po sa premium, ano po. Pero feeling ko, hindi ko naman po area yon dahil syempre may iba pong partnership and usapan between our division and ang developer po ng Peer Deck. By the way po, wala po akong connection sa Peer Deck Baka sakaling meron pong nag-iisip na kaya ko po ito propose kasi isa po ako sa developer or may kakilala po ako sa Peer Deck. Wala po akong kakilala sa Peer Deck. Ayan. At wala din po akong komisyon. Kung yun po ang iniisip po natin, wala po akong komisyon sa Peer Deck. So, ayun po. Kung pang personal nyo po at kayo po ang mag-shoulder, ang pagkakaalam ko po, ang annual po nila ay 147. Kung tama po ako. Parang mga 7,000 po annual. Ayan po. Sige po, lipat po ko sa YouTube po natin para sa mga inquiries. Dapat po ba lahat ng student naka-paid account for 65 days access or sa teacher lang? Kahit si teacher lang po ang merong paid account. Yung mga students naman po ay for access lang po sila. Ano po? Ganun po siya. Okay po. Sige po. Any inquiry po regarding sa ating Peer Deck? Ano po? pwede nyo po siyang subukan. Ano po? Pwede nyo pong subukan ang peer deck, pero ngayon, fourth quarter na, kung kaya po nating habulin ang peer deck, gamitin po natin kasi talagang napakaganda po ng peer deck. Ano po? Okay po. May i-inquiry pa po ba? Sir, paano maka-avail ng free trial? Okay po. Nakakapag-avail po ng free trial pag pumunta po kayo sa website ng Peer Deck, or kapag gumawa na po kayo ng presentation. Ito po, pakita ko po ulit. Ito po. Pagkatapos po kasi nating i-install yung ating Peer Deck, ay tatanungin po niya kayo for access tulad ng ibang extensions. Ano po? At tandaan po natin, ang gagamitin po natin dyan ay ang ating G Suite. Ano po ba yung G Suite account natin? Yun po yung account natin na may at school, yung school po ninyo, .manila.edu.ph. Sa amin po ay pgomez@manila.edu.ph. Ano po? Okay. So may nagtanong naman po via PM. Sir, applicable po ba yan for deaf? Hindi po siya applicable for deaf dahil wala pong video doon sa gilid. Ano po? Pero kung meron naman po kayong recorded na sign language instruction, pwede nyo pong i-embed yung video bago yung activity. Ano po? Sige po. Last 3 minutes po bago po namin ilipat ang hapag sa ating MC. Sir, sana may mahabang training for Peer Deck. Okay po. Yung tungkol naman po sa training, ano po, talagang dahil po sa eager po ng aking mga parents, ano po, ng mga parent po namin, ay talagang na-drive din po kami sa pagdidiscover ng maraming bagay tulad po ng Peer Deck. Kaya ire-request din po namin as much as we can na magkaroon din po tayo ng Peer Deck training. Ano po? Pwede nyo rin pong i-prolong or i-suggest dun sa ating topic yung nangyayari po ngayon sa ating meeting. Kung napapansin nyo po, kanina ay nag-play tayo ng mga videos sa nationalistic song, sa magandang kanta ni Ma'am Rochelle, pero hindi po namin yun shinare via Google Drive. Ano po? Para ma-share yung sound. Yun po ay nasa local files po namin. Yun kasi ang nagiging problema po natin, di po ba? Lalo't malalaki yung files, ina-upload pa natin, katulad sa aming mga gumagamit ng may hinang cellphone o data lang po, ay consuming po talaga ang pag-upload ng video. So, pwede din po naming ituro sa inyo yon na naka-capture na po yung video sound sa inyong computer habang nagpi-play doon, papunta sa Google Meet po ninyo. Pwede nyo rin pong isuggest po yun. Ma-segue ko lang po. Okay po. Sa training po sa Peer Deck, soon po, soon. Pinag-aaralan na po namin yan kung i-allow po tayo. Okay po, sa YouTube po, wala na po sa YouTube natin. Okay po. Itong ginagamit po pala natin ngayon ay OBS. Ano po? Baka sakaling makatulong din po sa inyo. Kung gusto nyo naman pong magkaroon ng training tungkol sa OBS habang nasa Google Meet tayo at nagla-livestream tayo sa iba't ibang platforms, ano po, pwede nyo rin pong i-comment po yun o ilagay po doon sa ating ano pangalan to? Sa ating evaluation po mamaya. Ano po? Nga lang, ang pinagkaiba lang po ay dito sa Google Meet real time po. So, kapag may sinabi ako, nakukuha nila agad. Yung mga nasa live stream, meron po kayong delay ng 10 seconds. So, pag nagpa-price po ako dito, wala na po sa inyo. Joke lang po. Ayan. Wala na po atang inquiry. Sir, sana. Ayun po. Okay po, I think wala na pong mga inquiry. Kung may mga inquiries pa po kayo na hindi pa po natin na nakikita o nababasa, pwede nyo pong erase po yun sa ating evaluation po mamaya. Ano po? So once again, salamat po
Sir Idroy, meron pa
Ay,
po.
okay po.
Sir.
Sige po.
Meron po. Kay Sir Christian Kenneth Binayog. Online service lang siya, sir. And any feedback on the data consumption po? Ang
Okay
tanong.
po. Pagdating naman po sa opo, tama po. Online service po talaga siya kasi kaya tayo nagkaroon ng synchronous, asynchronous po siya. Ang data consumption po naman niya ay mas less po kaysa sa Zoom. Kung may gumagamit po ng Zoom sa inyo, mas less po siya doon sa data consumption po nun. Ano po? Sana nasagot ko po ang inyong sagot. Ano po?
Yun po yung katanungan ni Sir Christian Binayog.
Okay po,
Sana po
salamat
nasagot
po.
ng maayos ni Sir Idroy.
Ayun po, kung wala na pong mga inquiries, gaya nga po ng sabi ko po kanina, kapag meron pa po kayong nais itanong o i-suggest na mga trainings, kasi kayo po talaga ang pinanggagalingan ng mga trainings natin, kaya let us know po. Ano po? So once again, salamat po at magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Salamat po. Back to you po, ma'am.
Thank you, Sir Idroy, for introducing us to Peer Deck app. So surely it will be a big help for us teachers and for our learners, and most especially our parents. Yeah, kasi sila ngayon ang talagang double time sa mga bata. So by the way, link for the Peer Deck app was already posted in our chat box. Okay, so you may check it out later. And it is best to stretch out for a while, okay, after that thorough and interesting talk of Sir Idroy. So, may I call on Ma'am Alma Valencia from Fogotso Elementary School, who will lead us in an unphrasing activity. Go ahead, Ma'am Alma.
Hello, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon po. Medyo may problema dito kasi biglang nag-start nag-drilling ng kalsada so napaka-ingay po ng surroundings. So, pwede po bang i-request kay Sir Idroy na siya yung mag-present ng unphrasing activity for this moment? Yes. Kasi po masasagap yung drilling, no? Sayang.
Apo, no problem ma'am, no problem po.
Thank you, Sir Idroy. Pasensya na, bigla-bigla to eh.
I-present ko na po ba, ma'am?
Opo, sir.
Okay po.
So, pag bagnet equals bagnet. So, ganun po. Okay po, no? So, may po 10 seconds sa bawat hula ang pictures para sa pagkaing Pinoy. So, chat lang po natin. Thank you! Okay, thank you po. Pasensya na hindi ako makakomment ng live kasi ang ingay talaga. So, salamat po sa mga nag-participate. Nagutom ba? So, yan po.
Thank you, Ma'am Alma. Salamat sa unfreezing activity na naganap kanina. Okay. Now, to introduce our next distinguished speaker, may I call on again Ma'am Marby Burgos to introduce our next speaker. Ma'am Marby.
Again, thank you, Ma'am Rose. Okay, our second speaker is a master teacher from Padre Mariano Gomez Elementary School, an outstanding educator and a research enthusiast. She has presented her action research paper entitled ICT Integration in Reading for Selected Children with Intellectual Disabilities in international conferences like 2021 Asia Pacific E-Conference on Multidisciplinary Research Conference, International Organization of Educators and Researchers, Linguistic Society of the Philippines, International Conference 2021, and International Cross-Cultural Exchange and Professional Development, Thailand and Universal University, Indonesia. Her paper was published in academia.edu and in other international journals. A recipient and completer of DepEd NCR Basic Education Research Fund, or BERF, in 2019. She has also presented another research entitled The Competence of Special Education Teachers Handling Children with Learning Disabilities in Mainstream Education. Its theoretical resonance at the National Research Jamboree sponsored by DepEd NCR in December 2020. as the lone representative of SDO Manila. A published author, prolific writer, and editor. She was recently awarded the Outstanding Educator of the Year Award from the 2021 InstaBright International Awards of Educators. She was also cited as one of the outstanding teachers of Manila in 2019. In addition, she was also a recipient of 2020 Gawad Primero and SDO Manila BE LCP Champions for Module Production and Content Creator of Video Production for her modules and video lessons, as well as for her role as editor of English Grade 4 modules. First quarter and second quarter. In 2018, she was also recognized by SDO Manila LRMS for her big book entitled The Gift for struggling readers in English Grade 5. Last March 2021, she has again published one of her literary works in an international magazine for educators, the Educators Link, where she is one of NCR's regional coordinators. At present, she is the Deputy NCR Conformance Validator for English Grade 1 and District Coordinator for Research and English. She is also finishing her postgraduate degree in special education at the Philippine Normal University in Manila. Fellow teachers, let's all welcome Ma'am Fluenden Ann A. Cabaron.
Thank you so much po for that generous introduction, Ma'am Marvy. All right. Sir Edroy, can I present my screen? Alright. Nakikita na po ang screen ko. Parang sa mga bata lang eh. Can you see my screen? Okay po ba? Am I audible? Malakas po ba ang aking... okay na po? This is better? Alright. Sige. So thank you so much once again, Ma'am Marvy, for your introduction. And magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Lalo na po sa ating Education Program Supervisor for Kinder and Sped, Ma'am MC Esteban, for this opportunity, as well as to all our Speders po from District 126, Master Teachers, Sped, and all present today. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Alright, so I guess nung tinanong po ako ni Ma'am Amsi, anong klaseng research or action practices na pwede kong i-share. So I said, Ma'am, mas maganda po yata, it would be what I will just re-echo the call for papers by our Division Research Coordinator last May 19 kasi this is really in time for those who are wanting to be master teachers na po ng SPED, and we really need a lot of MTs for SPED. Marami pong kulang sa atin, lalo sa iba-ibang exceptionalities. So this is the right time, and pumayag naman si Ma'am Amsi. Alright, so again, this is a re-echoing of the orientation, and this is not only for birth, but also for completed non-birth research papers. Yan po ang kagandahan ngayon. Alright, so our new Division Research Coordinator is Mr. Andre Nicolay Pacheco. Some of you might have met him in the division, but he replaced Sir Felipe. So you might be asking, sana si Sir Jojo Felipe? He is now the Division Research Evaluator. So kasama po ngayon ang SGOD and CID in assessing and evaluating our papers. All right. So for this afternoon, dadalian ko lang po ito because the idea here is we want to help you. Yung mga hirap po gumawa ng research, we will make this easy. Hopefully, I could give you tips on how to come up with your own action research. All right. So, first off, I will be discussing a bit about the status of the birth research last 2019 and 2020. And there would be a discussion of what are the regional research priorities. Kung gusto nating sumali sa region, welcome po kasi lahat. Ano ang priority ng region? Ano naman sa division? And then I'll also be discussing what are the guidelines. Kasi po, iba na po ang ating theme. Okay? Pre-COVID times at ngayong pandemic times, ang daming pagbabago and we know that. Alright? And other matters that I'll be discussing as well. Sana po kayo ay makinig and then participate as well. If you have questions, just inform us. And then also, for those who are research coordinators in their own respective schools, you can also share po in the discussion. Ayan, hindi lang ako. Okay, so here is Sir Andre, and this is the Zoom meeting we had last May 19, as I mentioned a while ago. All right, so the status report as of birth 2019 and 20. So sa mga iba sa inyo po na hindi po masyadong aware, ang birth po is an acronym for Basic Education Research Fund. Now, it is a research program with legal mandates or basis. First off is RA 9155. So ito yung pinaka-foundation natin and this was way back August 2001. So isipin niyo po, early 2000, DepEd really wanted to have a governance of Basic Education Act wherein there would be continuous improvement of teaching and learning practices. And how would we do that? By research. And then, to make it more enticing for teachers. Kasi ang sinasabi nila, if it's research, it's matrabaho, it's additional work, yes. But then again, there's a purpose why we're doing this. And then, to make it more enticing, ayan, nagkaroon ng funding. Funding came from a DO order, number 24, series of 2010. And this is the funding facility to improve delivery of basic education services. And then, to solidify the research or the birth program, so we had the DO 43 series of 2015, which is a revised guideline on birth to promote the culture of research for improved access, quality, and governance. Now, I'm happy to share po, ayan. So, kahit po elementary tayo, di ba? Nakisabayan tayo sa mga high school because usually research are really for the higher learning, di ba? Higher education. Tayo, elementary. So, basic tayo. But then again, we have a lot to offer. Hindi lang sila. So, good thing in 2019, so if you will notice, based on the report of Sir Andre, we had 7. Okay, 7 birth grantees and completers. Ang kagandahan po kasi sa birth po, doon sa mga gusto pong mag-apply and submit their proposals, may funding po kayo. So, kahit marami po siyang requirements and then, yeah, it's really work. But then again, may suporta po kayo. So, if you will notice, ako lang po sa inclusive education, did that in 2019. The rest are into teaching and learning. And there's also one for governance. That's for the supervisor's part. So, ito pong birth is open to everyone, whether teacher ka, master teacher, principal, supervisor, even superintendent. Yeah, if you want to submit your research and then, be recognized for it and share your results to everyone, then this is for you. And I'm happy also to share kasi noong 2019, di ba tayo po, meron. And then 2020, meron din po sa elementary. So, District 3, so ako po ang research coordinator ng District 3. Tuwan-tuwa po ako kasi tayo din po, back-to-back yan, birth grantees and completers. So we're hoping na ngayong pong 2021, marami po ang sasali, lalo na sa ating mga kapwa speders. Alright, so this is also one area na ako po'y natutuwa and to share it with you because I was the representative in the National Research Jamboree last December 2020. So I presented my research to the region and I would also like to hopefully yung mga susunod na research enthusiasts and teachers po sa ating kaguruan sa SPED would also experience kasi po hindi biro yung mag-present. And there's one thing I can remember, ang nag-interview po sa akin sa panel ko si Dr. Garma. So di ba nakakaba po? But then again, if your heart is into what you did, ikaw talaga pinaghirapan mo ang research mo. No matter how difficult the questions might be, masasagot mo because ikaw ang gumawa nun. So, ayun, maayos naman pong nasagot and happy po tayo to represent SDO Manila. And for Birth 2019, ito po yung theme. So pag gumawa kayo ng research, mag-iisip kayo, ano bang tema ko? Ito po ang lumabas. So sa Birth 2019, dalawa po, di ba, ang klase natin. It could be basic research or action research. Mamaya we'll discuss ano bang pinagkaiba ng dalawa. Kasi yung iba po sa atin, nakalimutan na yata yung background natin sa research po nung nag-aral tayo ng college or even or postgraduate degrees. Yun po, babalikan natin ng konti. So, dito po, sa basic research, meron pong inclusive education, the teaching and learning and governance. Ano po ba yun sa inclusive education? Because it's a big theme. SPED. So, I focus on the teachers. For teaching and learning, sa high school, they focus on instruction, English and values education. No, for governance, school leadership, yan po yung sa supervisor's part. Action research naman, they also had teaching and learning as their theme, and then ICT. So gamification, so yung ginawa ni Sir Edroy kanina, you could use that to come up with your own research on what was the effect of using Peer Deck or other apps when it comes to the performance of your children. Hindi naman tayo masyado sa ACAD except for the gifted children, but yung mga bata natin, was difficulty, di ba? Doon sa interest. So, if you use games, virtual manipulatives, what was the effect? Yun, pwede niyong gamitin yun. And then, modular instruction, activity-based. Alright, so participants' profile, majority are the learners. So, we focus on the learners, 57%, teachers, 15%, and equal division, 14%, for teachers and learners, and then the school heads. Concept areas, ayan, it revolves mostly on teachers, schools, and students. All right, so common context found in the birth researches in 2019, it answered depth and thrust in providing quality education. So kung mapapansin po ninyo sa category, puro quality and access, konti lang governance. Why? It focused on accountability, competence, academic success, strategy-oriented, lack of solutions, etc. And katulad nga ng sinabi, so ito yung mga common findings na nakita po dun sa papers. So merong competence, support, pedagogy, resource value. Again, it answered to what was the need at that time in 2019. Wala pang COVID noon. It's the regular traditional classroom that we had. That's why it focused on yung mga researchers po namin, access to quality education. Now, if you want, for those who are, interested in doing their birth researches, focus, ito lang po masasabi ko po. If you will notice po, sa mga policies, yung research ko po 3 ang policies. It was anchored on 3 international policies. So, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act of 1990, Individuals with Disabilities Improvement Act of 2004, excuse me, and No Child Left Behind Act of 2002. The rest, isa-isa lang sila. It doesn't matter. The important thing is there has to be policies anchoring your suggested interventions or theories that you want to explore more to make your research a success. Patutunayan mo. And yung policies na yon would serve as your framework and it would really help solidify yung inyong pananaliksik. Now, what were the recommendations of those proposal and completed birth researches? So, we had policy reforms recommendations. So, sa akin, it's more on learning and development in the context of inclusive education, SPED development program for teachers, especially for those general education teachers who have difficulty handling our students in their mainstream classrooms. Isa po yan sa advocacy ko. And then, for those na strengthen technical assistance to teachers, so this is more on the learning resource development for communicative proficiency. So we're talking here sa English and values education. There was technology integration. And the last would be learning and development program for school heads. So, tinitignan po ng region, ano ba ang magiging epekto ng pananaliksik mo? And what would be the solution, recommendations that would benefit our educators? Okay. So, again, objectives for birth 2019, focus on research for policy development and access to quality education and governance. Ma'am, tanong, 2021 na po tayo ngayon, nag-pandemic po. So, paano? Saan kami kukuha ng idea? There's a lot, diba? So, which way would you go? Which way to go? So, know first your methods and design. Ito na po. Alright. So far po ba, nakukuha po? If you have questions in between, okay lang pong inform ako. Okay? And, ayan. So, research priorities natin. Ito na po siya for NCR and SDO Manila. They are now into the teaching and learning, pero nabago na po yan. Again, 2019 and 2020 were more on access to quality education. However, because of the pandemic, what are the important aspects? So, ito na po siya. Distance learning education, online learning environment, parental involvement in education. Ano epekto? Kasi co-facilitators na natin ang mga magulang, ang mga elders in the household. So, may effect ba yun sa pagkatuto ng mga bata? How and what? And then if it's positive, then document. If it's negative, have an intervention. Di ba? Ginagawa naman natin yan ngayon. So, pwede nyong sulatin yan. Also have academic performance in the new normal. So, madali lang po ito. Retest, post-test, anong ginamit mong intervention, yung mga Google Map, yung peer deck ni Sir, pwede nating magamit yan. Did it improve performance? Prove it. Gawa ka lang ng pre- and post-test. Come up with the result. And then, what are your suggestions for recommendations? Okay? Assessment strategies in distance learning, modular learning, and teaching strategies in distance learning. So, ang sa atin lang po dito is, it's up to you. What kind of theme or topic you're interested in. Hindi kailangan pong mahirap mag-research. Kasi lahat tayo ay gumagawa na po niyan everyday. Diba? And then for the division, we have curriculum implementation, learning delivery, learning resources, learning outcomes assessment. Nasa sa inyo po yun. How you can prove using Google Form, yung mga ginagamit natin na mga applications. Ayan, so there's a lot that you can write on for your research. Another thing, ito po, child protection, ito ang gusto ng region, but saan parte ng child protection? Cyberbullying. So yan. Okay? Establishing safe online learning environment. Positive discipline at home. Paano na patuto ang bata? Laging ginawa ng magulang. Anong ginawa mo as teacher? And yung bang interventions na yon naging positive sa bata? Nagkaroon ba siya ng magandang study habits? If so, document. Again, hindi kailangang mahirap po ang paggawa ng research. Okay? And then, challenges on the use of social media and online games. Ito na siya. Paano na-resolve yung mga challenges na nauuna pang maglaro at hindi nagagawa ng assignment? Ano nangyari kung yung first quarter wala masyado na submit, second quarter meron na, third quarter lalo okay na? If meron kang ginawang intervention to address that challenge when it comes to online games versus academic responsibilities ng bata, then right. Yun na po ang inyong, kumbaga, matuturing na contribution as a researcher. Okay? And then for the division, you have child protection at home, school and the community, youth formation, learner support and welfare, and career guidance. Okay. Excuse me. Now, for governance, ito naman po, bagay ito sa mga MTs, sa mga principals and supervisors. Okay, so monitoring and evaluation of school programs, management of partnerships, leadership and management of school heads and administrators amid the new normal. So sila ho yan. Now, for the division, that's for the region. Now, for the division, planning and strategic management, resource management, quality management, and partnership and community linkages. So pwede niyong gamitin to for division-wide research. Brigada, this is good. So Sir Edroy, baka like mo ha? Okay, and for those who are involved with Brigada in your respective schools. Now, let's move on to human resource. Ayan. So, ang kagandahan po ngayon, hindi na lang po teaching personnel. It's open to everyone. Kahit po office staff ng Division of Manila, pwede na po magsabit ng research nila. Okay? So, ito yung kanilang part naman sa human resource development. So, wellness, upskilling, reskilling, change management, adaptability of DepEd personnel, ano yung mga challenges and impact of work from home setup. So tayo pwede rin ito kasi tayo work from home din naman. And PMS. Then priority in the division, human resource management, professional and career development, learning and development, employee welfare. Now, meron pa pong additional theme. May mga theme na pwedeng ma-apply with other areas. So this is what we call cross-cutting themes sa disaster risk reduction management. So we have disaster preparedness, mitigation practices, implementation of minimum public health standard. So kung kayo ang representative o coordinator ng school, paano na na-apply itong mga minimum public health standard? Okay, nasa sa inyo po yon. Okay. Think of ways na ano ba yung ginawa ko at naging maganda ang result. Okay. So, priority naman for the division. So, the same thing as well. And then, dagdag lang natin nito is the rehabilitation and recovery. Now, ito yung sa atin. Ang maganda for those who are handling also ALS, ayan, and madrasa. So, sa inclusive education, ito na po ang topic for 2021. Again, this is cross-cutting, so pwede i-apply po ito together with teaching and learning, etc. So, sa inclusive education, learning materials for learners with special needs. Remember, we have different, our children have different needs with the regular children. So, what are the materials that we can use? Ano mga application ang nagawa mo? Kung may na-invento ka na ay program or activity, show. Tell us. And what was the result? And then, instructional practices in inclusive education, SPED teachers amid pandemic. Nagkaroon ba ng epekto sa mga nakaranas na, gumaling naman po sa naapektuhan? Ano ang ginawa mo to recover? So, you can write it down. And then, ano ang epekto sa'yo? Ano ang pwede mong ma-share na recommendation sa mga teachers na if ever makaranas na ganong challenge amid another pandemic, wag naman sana. Okay? So, ito pong pagsusulat ng research, marami siyang priorities, maraming topics, but it must come close siya sa puso mo para ma-continue mo siya. Kasi, research is not really just writing. It's more of discovering and solving a problem. Mamaya natin discuss, bagay ba ang basic o AR sa theme na gusto ko? Okay? So we'll discuss that later. Again, priority for inclusive education naman in the division, if you want it division-wide. Again, pag sinabing division-wide po, we're talking different districts. Magkukuha kayo ng sampling from them. So inclusive classroom, alternative learning delivery, special ed, education, and special programs. For God, ayan, meron na po tayo promotion of gender sensitivity, gender responsive education, gender mainstreaming and education. If there's one thing ngayon kasi ako nga po ay district coordinator din ng English. So, if we have to come up with the list of teachers for training purposes, hindi pwede pong mawala ang mga males, ang mga lalaki. Kasi ngayon po, kailangan kasama na po talaga sila dahil alam natin karamihan ng mga guro ay babae. Pero hindi naman palaging babae na lang all throughout 100%. There has to be the population of the male teachers naman in the group. Yan po ang pinopromote ng God. Okay? So, lagi na po ngayon, there's gender equality, protection, empowerment, and responsive governance. Now, ito ang dagdag. This is the technology and innovation development. Ito yung maganda kasi magkakaroon po kayo ng chance, like, meron kayong na-develop na application and you applied it sa mga bata mo, then go. Show it to the world. Tell us what made you decide to do that? What made you come up with that idea? What's the problem that you're trying to solve with that innovation? And then, pag yun napili po for birth, ay maganda. May funding ka. Diba? So division priority, emerging education technologies, systems and processes development, technology management, innovation management. All right. So again, for cross-cutting themes, it can be applied with others. All right. Tips. Ay, teka po. May tanong po ba regarding po dun sa priorities? Clear naman po. Pasensya na hindi ko kayo nakikita kasi clear naman.
Ellen, may
yes.
question po dito. Ma'am Ellen, nagme-mentor po ba kayo about making active research or basic research? Paano po kayo mahihingan ng advice?
Okay.
From Sir Aga.
Okay, Sir Aga, thank you po. We have a pool of coordinators. So, hindi lang po ako, yung inyong school coordinators were there also. They attended the training for this. Pero kung ako po, just PM me. Okay po ako. I'm here to help. Regardless kung ibang division po or ibang district.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Welcome po. Ayan. Kasi gusto ko po maraming spedders po ang mag-join kasi ang dami pong kailangan. Yun lang. Ayaw ko na mag-explain. Alam ni Ma'am Amsi yan. Okay? Dream yan. Alright. Next. Tips in making a choice. Ayan. Sa dami po ng theme, ma'am. Ano na? Nalilito kami. O, ito na po ang solusyon. Narrow your focus. If you want a simple research, huwag masyadong hirap. Focus on your classroom, your own experiences. Walang mag-question sa inyo na. Because it's your experience, it's your innovation, it's your implementation, it's your own pupils. Kaya nga ini-encourage natin mga bata natin muna bago mag-venture outside the bigger scope. Try nyo muna. Ano ba yung mga ginawa intervention? Naglipat ka ng upuan. Sa mga bata mo, yung makulit, inurong mo, yung mga tahimik dito sa kanan, yung mga makulit sa kaliwa. Nagkaroon ba ng effect yun? That was for the traditional. Ngayong online, anong ginawa mo para sumagot sa at mag-upload ng seat work, ng assignment? Anong ginamit mo ng mga materials? Bakit nagustuhan? At balik ng balik sa school. Sa classroom mo. Di ba yung mga bata natin, pag ayaw, hindi talaga mapipilit yan eh. Pero pag gusto nila, nako, nauna pa sa'yo palagi yan. Makulit pa, tanong ng tanong, participate ng participate, di ba? So, make their experiences memorable. It's up to you how to come up with a very happy and enjoyable and fruitful classroom environment sa mga bata mo. If nagawa mo na yan, paano? Share it with us. Marami tayong pwedeng gawin. Hopefully nga magkaroon tayo ng, mamaya sasabihin ko sa inyo kung ano yung magandang mga additions sa research ngayong year na to. Okay? So, ito muna tayo. So, instructional material. So, I'm happy to know, pasensya na po kayo ha, sa Gomez po kasi ako, si Ma'am Laila Villar. I-mention ko lang po yan. She created her own app for instructional materials ng transition children niya. And maganda ang naging resulta. That's why, natutuwa po ako kasi yung pong nagawa na yun, nanalo sa Manila Innovation Expo recently. At napapublish ko pa siya international magazine. Saan ka naman? Diba? Kasi yung legacy mo, kailangan ng iba yan to make them be more inspired. Tanggalin ang takot sa pagsulat. Kasi hindi naman po talaga, okay, ang research po pwedeng Tagalog hindi kaya English. Merong Tagalog po na pananaliksik, yun po yung ini-encourage namin ngayon. Kasi marami naman po talagang pwedeng gawin sa wikang Pilipino. Hindi lang sa wikang English. So, come up with your own materials. And then ito rin po, classroom management, instructional methods, relationship, etc., grading, conferencing, feedbacking, lalo na ngayon. Feedbacking with parents in the new normal, ang gandang topic niyan. Paano mo nakuha, nakumbinsi ang mga magulang ayaw sa internet dati, pero ngayon nakikijoin? Diba? Bakit? Then, hanapin niyo po yung mga anecdotals ninyo kung meron po kayong noon. It can help you, okay? Come up with an idea for your research. And then, again, tips in making a choice, questions to consider while developing the topic. Wala pong research na nagsimula sa title na hindi alam ang tinatanong. Pasensya na po kasi meron talagang mga kasamahan. Kahit naman hindi, kahit makaklase natin sa masteral, nagtatanong agad, title, pero hindi alam ano ang hinahanap. Ang tip ko po, for you to come up with your own research is ask a question first. Ano bang problema sa classroom mo? Ano bang gusto mong palagay pwede mong isolve? Or na-solve mo na? Kailang hindi mo naisip isulat. Ano ba yung tinanong mo dati? That's how you can come up with your idea and then tsaka tuloy na yun sa anong thematic area sa topic mo. Is your topic connected to a larger issue that will be of interest to a broader educational community? We're talking from your own classroom to the school, to the district, to the division. Ganun po yun. So, kung maganda ang idea mo, like itong ginawa ni Sir lang, sorry, I really have to point it out sa sample lang natin yung peer deck. Kapag yun, naganda ang nagawa mo doon, una ang mga estudyante mo, sunod ang parents, kasi PTA meeting, di ba? I don't know how you're going to come up using that application, but if the response of those nakasama is palaging 80%, 90% respondents, maganda pala yung application na yun. Gamitin ko nga sa ibang area naman. What if nagkaroon naman ng meeting? O yung mga co-teachers ko, co-coordinators ko, kung kayo po ay coordinator ng inyong school, then fine. You can use that. Alright, so what are you planning to do in order to address? You have control. Again, sa panahon po ngayon ng pandemya, we have to be considerate with the people that we're working with. At yung mga time, resources, lahat po tayo matutong maging considerate. Kasi hindi po lahat kaya. Now, if you are the one needing them for your research, then alam na natin po ang sagot dyan, di ba? We have to make extra effort. Kasi the important thing is matapos mo ang research mo. Okay. So, ito na po yung tanong. Ayan. Kaya po sinama ko to sa, sa re-echoing. Hindi dapat to kasali, pero sige na lang. Ano po ba ang difference, ma'am, ng basic tsaka action ng AR? Malaki-laki po. Ito, objective-wise. Ang basic, ito tayong thesis natin. Di ba yung gumagawa tayo ng mga thesis natin sa undergrad and then postgrad? Dinidevelop natin, lalo na sa, pag nasa PhD o EDD level ka, theory-based. Samantalang action research, problema lang sa iyong sa mga bata mo eh. Yun na. Find a solution to that simple problem. You already have an action research. Kaya ini-encourage talaga, pansin po ninyo, majority of educators are into AR. Why? Kasi madali po siya eh. It's a matter of knowing ano ba ang problema na gusto mong solve. Kasi sa dami. Yun ang hindi ba matugunan. Isang problema lang. Tapos anong intervention ang pwede mong gawin? Yung sabi ko, naglipat ka ng upuan. Nagbigay ka ng module kasi hindi lagi maka-online. Anong epekto doon sa batang yun? Kasi pwedeng case study ang action research. So nasa sa iyo yun. Just prove to us that your intervention was positive. Naging effective. Okay? Another difference of basic and action, AR, sa training. You have to know different research methodologies with basic research. Action research, naku, marunong po kayo, di ba, ng averaging. So, excuse me, percentages. Medyo lalima mo ng konti, mean median mode, yung mga standard deviation, alam mo na yun. Huwag ka nang gumamit ng inferential statistics naman, yung hypothesis, huwag na. Ang basic na yun. Pero kung magaling ka talaga sa stat, yung mga math major dyan po alam ko tayo po, kahit SPED teachers tayo, nag-handle tayo ng iba pang subject areas. Tama? Ako, I'm into English and SPED. Yung iba dyan sa inyo, math and SPED. Yung iba, science and SPED. Yung iba, ganun. Kasi generalist tayo eh. Wala tayong pinipili eh. Pero wag nyo nang pahirapan sarili nyo. Kung gusto nyo ng research talaga na alam mo, totoo at naging positive, AR ka na lang. Pero pag medyo gamay mo na, mag-basic ka. Kasi, yun, mas detailed. Alright? Na selection of a problem, pag basic, there's a wide range of methods used to select a problem. Samantalang action research, participating teacher identify problems during the teaching learning process lang. Si Mario, hindi makabasa. Bakit? Hindi si Maria, hindi makapag-solve ng math. Why? Ano ang pwede kong intervention? Bakit hindi gusto ni Nash magbasa? So, yun lang ang simpleng problema ng bata natin. And then, come up with a solution. So, kung ayaw magbasa, then baka boring naman yung PowerPoint mo o wala kang video games o wala kang video clip. Palagi na lang yung nasa parang textbook style. O, kung nagawa mo yon tapos nagawa kang pre- and post-test, abay, tumaas ang score ng bata o kahit paano nakabasa. Yun na nga sa atin, di ba? We're not more into academics eh. Except for gifted. So, kung sa bata natin, napabasa natin ng walang utal-utal. Yung paulit-ulit, lalo na sa Tagalog kasi ang speders natin mabata, magaling sa English. But if they are able to read little bit Filipino, lalo na yung mga apat na mga pantig, Diyos ko, ang ganda-gandang pakinggan, pamamaraan, tanikala, yung mga malalalim na Tagalog. Yun, pangangailangan, yan, nabubulol palagi, pangangailangan, pamamagitan, yan, ang mga ganyan. Napabasa mo ng tuloy-tuloy, isang paragraph, dalawang paragraph, ay, what did you do? Tell us. Kasi ang ganda ng effect. Meron kang ginawa doon eh. Kasi nung una, ayaw magbasa. Tapos after a year na pinagpasensyahan mo, you're able to do that. So, I was able to do an action research, ICT integration. Paano ba ma-entice sila? Kasi doon ko napatunayan, ang big book, hindi masyado. Gusto nila talaga, kahit ganda-ganda pa ng mga drawings at mga very colorful, mas gusto, alam naman natin yan, mas gusto ng batang SPED talaga yung visual, okay? Magandang sounds, Ayun. So, ang tanong na lang dito is, prove it. And God willing naman, thank you, at sa mga kasamang kong guro at teachers po sa Gomez, nagawa naman. And yun yung pinisent ko sa mga international conferences. So, nakakatuwa po. And then, hypothesis. So, meron kayong dinevelop na is it rejected or approve yung null hypothesis mo. Gagamit ka pa ng mga inferential statistics mo. Samantalang AR, specific statement of the problem. No? And then, ito na nga siya, inferential descriptive for basic. Ito, grouping of raw data lang. So, mag-come up ka ng percentages lang, nag-increase yung grade. Yun na yun. That's already approved. It doesn't matter ang statistics. It doesn't matter what methods you use. The important thing is you're able to prove. Okay? Prove. Prove us na yung intervention mo is really effective. Okay? And then conclusions. Pag basic, maybe in form of generalizations or you could develop another theory, lalo na for PhD. Samantalang AR, finding specific answers to your specific and simple questions. And then application of results. So the generalizations have broad applicability. While AR, findings are used immediately in classroom situations by participating teachers to improve their own practices. Yun ang kagandahan po ng AR. Kaya I really want to encourage AR researches. Bakit? Kasi simple siya, madaling gawin, madaling patunayan, sulat mo lang. And then, again po ito yung tip, pag AR po, dapat positive ang result. Kung yung intervention mo, halimbawa sa pre-test at post-test, walang nangyari, bumaba pa, ay hindi naman yun AR, hindi mo pwede pagmalaki yun. Then, since it's cyclical, gawa ka ulit. Make another intervention. The important thing is sa dulo, effective na siya. Okay? So, ito po yung AR. Again, alam natin yan, a process of systematic inquiry to improve educational practices or resolve problems in our own classrooms and schools. Nasabi na siguro sa inyo ito, every teacher is an action researcher. That's true. You just have to document. Because teachers play the major role in translating solutions to problems they encounter inside the classroom. Walang ibang tutulong sa atin kung nagka-problema ang bata natin sa loob ng classroom or nagkaroon ng problema while we are doing the online teaching or hindi na-submit yung mga projects or mga reports or mga assignment because walang connectivity. Who would make a solution to that? Who will make recommendations, interventions para mabigay pa rin ng bata ang hinihingi mo? Ikaw pa rin. So, if you were able to convince them and then they're able to improve and then naging receptive siya sa yung positive yung response sa'yo and they became cooperative, submit na ng submit, attend na ng attend. May ginawa kang maganda doon. Think. Alright, write it down. So, ito lang po, remind lang po ulit, basic refresher lang. So, sa action research, phase 1, you identify the problem. Next, what's your plan of action? Gather data, analyze that data using simple statistical tools, descriptive. Diba? Averaging yung sasabi ko, quanti method, wag nang mag-quali. Pag quali, mamaya, tingnan natin and then plan for future action. Alright, in choosing a research topic, allow teachers to problem solve and come to better understanding of learning in and from their own practices. It involves everyday challenges that we face in the school, classroom, educational organizations. So, i-include na natin ngayon ang work from home. And then, if it's linked again to broader educational issue. So, ito po, ayan. Medyo konting lang po tayo activity. There's still time pa naman. Okay. So, if you will notice, ayan po example to ng title ng action research. Use of social story to enhance interaction skills of learners with autism. development of story cue cards to increase reading comprehension, use of instructional videos to increase the numeracy proficiency, use of virtual reinforcers to increase attention span of kindergarten students, use of Mentimeter to increase the class participation of learners, skills demonstration through Google Meet to assess performance in a competency. Ano po ang napansin ninyo dito? If we want to look at a pattern, sige nga po, anyone? Ay hala. Okay, anyone? Pwede pong sumagot. Are you seeing a pattern there from what I showed you? Yan, tingnan ko nga po. Meron po ba? Anyone can answer? Baka nakatulog na ho kayo ha? Anong pattern po ang nakikita ninyo? Using IMs. Very good. And what else? Bukod sa may intervention ka, may materials kang ginamit. What else can you see in the titles? Anyone? Ipo yan. Pag gagawa kayo ng title, yes, tama si Sir Reagan. Solutions, sabi niya Ma'am Laila, measure specific performance, the techniques. Ma'am Alma, thank you so much. So, pwede na akong bumalik ulit sa, meron tayong action. The manipulatives, the interventions, etc. And there has to be result. Positive result. So ito, first title ko, social story. Enhance interaction skills. Second, development, cue cards. Increase comprehension. Instructional videos, increase numeracy. Use of virtual reinforcers, increase attention span. Use of Mentimeter to increase the class participation. Skills demonstration using Google Meet ngayon to assess performance. May result. So, pwede po bang makakame up kayo ngayon? Ano ho ba, kahit isa o dalawa po na merong naisip na material na pwedeng gamitin sa sarili nilang pupils ngayon to solve a particular problem? Sige nga. Let's have an example. Use of blank to blank. Oh, that's it. That's a title already. Sige, tingnan po natin. You can share ideas po. Ayan, pwede yung isulat sa chat box. Ayan. Yung mga ginamit yung premise. O yon, yung using IMs. What kind of IMs? Okay, sa Filipino, sa intelektualisasyon, very good, Ma'am Alma. Sige nga, bigyan nyo nga ako ng title sa Tagalog po. Paggamit ng blank para sa ikatututo ng blank. Oh, sige nga. Anyone? Ayan. Kahit isang title lang po. Ayan. Sample ano lang tayo ngayon. Development and utilization of interactive e-book to enhance care skills of students with ID. Correct. Ang ganda ng sample ni Ma'am Laila. Development. Anong dinevelop niya at ginamit ng bata? Utilization. E-book. Para saan? Enhance. Ano? Sa transition na bata niya. Care skills of students with intellectual disability. That's it. That's the solution. Now prove it. May tanong ka. Malamang ito si Ma'am Laila, ang tanong niya, paano ba mag-enhance o paano ba ma-improve ko yung caring skills ng bata ko sa transition? Ano kayang pwedeng mag-encourage sa kanila to be more caring to others? Baka kailangan nilang magbasa ng libro about caring for others. Or ako kaya ang mag-come up, development. O gagawa si Ma'am halimbawa ng storybook niya. Interactive pa. Ma'am Laila, nagawa mo na ba to? Pwede to, ganun title to. So, interactive e-book. O, diba? O, kung halimbawa, gamitin niyo yung peer deck kanina. Para saan? To improve what? Academic performance. O kaya, Pwede siguro yung participation of my pupils with ID. Okay? In mathematics or in English. Pwede na yun. Diba? Yun ang importante. Come up with an idea and somehow, ikaw, kung kaya mong gawa ng sarili mong solusyon sa problema nun, creating a storybook or applying other IMs, virtual, which is applicable for today's situation, much better. So yun lang po ang AR. Napakasimple. Tanong, pwede po ba yan sa birth? Yes. Pwede po ang AR sa birth po. Yung pong 2020 natin na from District 3, si Ma'am Dayan, gumamit ng yon, DARE, program for grade 4 learners. AR yun. Diba? So, in coming up with your action research title, again, please, 10 to 14 words lang po ang title. Huwag sobrang dami. At maximum, siguro 15, pwede na. Pero as much as possible to be safe, 10 to 14, including connectors na po yun ha, conjunctions. And then make sure contextualize according to the need of your pupils o sino man yung iyong respondents or participants. And it consists of an action and an outcome. Yun lang po. Again, action, outcome. Action, result, solution. Yun lang po. Ganun kadali ang AR. Ito na ngayon, tip din to ha. Puro shortcut na itong ginagamit ko ha. Para may idea kayo, para tuloy-tuloy ang gawa nyo. Ma'am, may naisip na ako topic. Yes. Mayroon na ako ng participants na naisip, very good. May problema na ako at may title, good. Anong gamit mo namang method? Pili ka, quanti or quali. Pero, sinasabi ko po ha, to make your life simpler, lesser headache, quanti na po kayo. Huwag na mag-quali. Why? Excuse me. Quantitative data will tell us what our respondents are doing. It's very specific. Hindi mo kailangang mag-imagine kung ano nangyari habang ginagawa yon. May result ka, may data ka. It's there. Wala ka na hanapin pa. Andyan na. I-interpret mo lang siya according to your problem. Kung paano yon, na positive ba o negative ang result. Yun nga pong simple nga percentages, averaging, pwede na po yun eh. Ayun, kung gusto nyo medyo gumamit ng Likert scale, okay. Kung meron kang survey at gusto mong ma-prove, pati Cronbach Alpha, gusto mo yung mga ganun, okay. Basta kaya nyo pong ipanindigan at tama yung pag-compute nyo. Ngayon, marami sa atin ang hindi magaling sa math. Kasi na ako doon. So, hindi po nakakabawas kapag tayo ay nanghingi ng tulong sa ibang tao. Lalo mga mathematician dyan. Yung mga kilala natin magaling sa stat, ay naku, kalampagin natin. Di ba? Kung gusto mo, isama mo sa research. Hanggang 3 pwede mag-share. Wala pong kailangan solo niya ang research. No. Hanggang 3. Kaya kung magaling sa math yung kasama mo, magaling ka naman magsulat. Yung isa magaling magsalita, di-join kayo. Kasi there has to be presentation, there has to be analysis, and of course, writing. So, kung iba-ibang talent nyo and you have the same aim to come up with your research, lalo na ngayon, at merong opening for MT, go. Kasi, ito po, sasabihin ko sa inyo, kailan ang submission. Para po, marami kasi sa inyo ang hindi nakaabot at hindi naka-qualify because last time kulang sa research. Ito na po. I'm encouraging you na. This is it. Para hindi zero ang research ninyo. At least 4 points for proposal. Completed research is 12. How do you get that point? Okay? Mamaya po, sabihin ko sa inyo. So again, meron kang theme, meron kang focus when it comes to the respondents or participants that you want for your research. And then, meron ka ng methods. Quali-quanti, it's up to you. Or kung gusto mo mixed method, it's up to you. The thing is, prove it. At tama naman po ang inyong pag-solve. Kasi ti-check po talaga yan ng grammar at yung methods. Sa, ngayon sa bagong procedure ng DO, mayroon po, I think for those who are school research coordinators in your respective districts, they know that in the team, the committee, school committee, merong methods group at merong languages group. Tulungan kayo. Para yung pinasa ng kapwa nyo guro, kahit sila o kahit kayo, mag-undergo ng mga evaluators within your school. Kasi ganun din ang gagawin ng DO if your research is for division or district-wide. Okay? So again, ito muna. So pili kayo anong method ang tingin mo would answer the need for your research. Okay? So ano na po ang guidelines? I'm going to give you, mabilisan lang po ito for birth and non-birth. Okay. For birth, call for proposals lang po ha. Hindi pa po kayo, hindi pa po kayo pwedeng magtapos ng inyong research kasi ang birth po ay proposal sa region. Bago po makarating ng region, it has to be approved first by your school head. And then it goes through evaluation sa DO, sa division, bago ang DO would approve that if it qualifies with the requirements that are needed, tsaka aakyat sa region. If na-approve po yung proposal ninyo ng region, that's the time you have to do your research. Kaya madali lang po. Ngayon, proposal pa lang. So kaya yung idea na binibigay ko sa inyo kanina, go mag-isip na po kayo kasi may deadline po tayo ngayon para makaabot kayo. Sayang naman. Dati kasi yung iba hindi alam daw. O ngayon, may info dissemination na kasi yung SPED, ang dami talagang pwedeng gawing paper eh. And ang maganda po, yun nga lang, sa dulo, kasama mag-check sa DO is Ma'am Amsi. Siya po ang ating evaluator for SPED, di ba? So advantage na natin yon. Ang importante na submit mo within deadline, in-approve ni school head mo, at nakarating sa division. So, ngayong gabi po, o kahit right after this meeting, contact your school research coordinator and tanungin nyo na, ano ba yung mga forms na kailangan? Kasi ipapakita ko sa inyo ngayon eh. Kayo na po ang magtanong sa kanila yung actual forms, ha? Okay. So again, like what I mentioned, all teachers, teaching-related, and non-teaching personnel of SDO Manila are welcome to join the birth research. And even submit completed non-birth papers. Ayan. Ano po ang timeline? Ito po, binago yung birth kasi May 28 na po ito. Sad to say ngayong Biyernes. Pero kaya naman, yung proposal lang naman yan at soft copy. Yung hard copy, kayo ang magsasubmit sa division pero depende sa inyong school coordinator. Okay? So may guidelines po kami, alam nila how to go about it. Basta May 28 sa DO. But for non-birth, ayan, i-explain ko sa inyo mamaya, ito yung maganda kasi pwede to for promotion. Kahit kung ayaw mo sa birth, basta magkaroon ka lang ng paper, hindi na po kasi pwedeng umakyat kayo diretso sa DO at papirma, may tatak, bawal na po. Kailangan, you have to go through the process. And what's the process? It has to be approved by your school research committee. Okay? Importante, pirma ni coordinator at ni principal. Without those, hindi siya pwede for promotion. Okay? Ayan. So ano po yung birth? Sa mga gusto, proposal lang po ito ha. Pakipicturean niyo na po ito. Ito po yung Manila Birth 2021 docs. Makikita niyo po yung mga documents na yan. And ano po yung checklist, application form, proposal, and then meron tayong anti-plagiarism and absence of conflict of interest. Kasi nga po, ang gagawin ng DO, we will now be having a repository. Di ba ang ganda? Magkaroon tayo ng sarili nating data bank of completed researches. Ang ganda. Legacy ng SDO Manila sa mga future generation of educators at kayo, kasi kayong gumawa nun. And ang maganda pa, ito ay natin sa National Library para pwedeng i-cite yung gawa natin ng ibang tao in future papers. Yun yung kagandahan nun. Pwede masite tayo. I think Sir Andre is doing that para hopefully, yan yung mga dreams ngayon ng DO. Kaya ang ganda. Okay? So ito lang po ang sample checklist for birth proposal. Ayan po. Ito naman po, research information. Okay? So again, yung short description of the research, 150 words lang. And, excuse me. So sa research category, may mga nagtatanong, ma'am, ano po ba to? School district, schools division, region, national. Ang school po is yung scope ninyo. Is it within your classroom, within the school? Then school-based ka. But if we're talking different schools within your district ka. Pag iba-ibang district, division ka na. So on and so forth. Okay? And remember, kapag nag-propose kayo, dapat talagang gagawin ninyo, ha? Kasi nagba-blacklist po ang NCR. Kung nag-apply ka, hindi mo tinapos, na-approve ka, tapos di mo ginawa, nagba-blacklist po sila. Okay? So, kung kaya mo lang ay school, ang classroom mo, AI lang ang kaya mo, pero pangarap mo mag-birth, then go. It's accepted. You can check action research or basic research. Hindi po namimili kung anong klase. Importante, may pananaliksik ka, may nagawa ka, may napatunayan ka. Ibigay mo lang. Okay? Sulat mo lang. Para ma-record. Yun yung maganda doon. Meron na po tayong hopefully, ayan, God willing, magkakaroon ng data bank or repository of our completed and approved researches. Yan, sa SDO Manila. Okay, and then theme of the research, alam niyo na po yan, etc. Ang maganda sa birth, yun nga po, kung medyo gusto mo malaki-laking scope, may pera, may funding. But subject for approval ng NCR. Ang region ang magsasabi, ilan lang ang pwedeng i-approve sa'yo. Kasi may mga limitations yun. And I cannot discuss what are those dito. Sa susunod na lang. Okay? But the important thing is, do the proposal, complete these forms. Okay? So sa proponent po, ang mag-fill out lang po ang lead proponent. Kahit tatlo kayo, lead proponent lang po. And then, ito yung information na kailangan. And then, ito yung sa basic research. Nandun po yan sa link. Guided din po kayo on what could be your questions, methodology, etc. And then, cost estimate. Kasi nga po, ayan na, meron siya, excluded, will not be used yung software kasi maliit lang ang budget ngayon. Sinabi po sa amin, because of the pandemic, medyo limited ang budget. But then again, you will be given still. Ayan, so, submitted ninyo and APA format, 7th edition. Sa action research naman, kung yun ang gusto mong isubmit sa birth, ito naman po. So, mapapansin yung konti lang, Ang difference with basic, tingnan mo may literature review. Yung RLIT na yan, madugo talaga yan, promise. Alam niyo naman yan, kahit sa thesis, di ba, yung magawa tayo ngayon. Ang hirap. Local and international, nako. Pero at least may 3 ka man lang na foundation, okay na yun. And then, okay, so action research, wala nun, Okay, so ito po, i-compare nyo lang yan, downloadable ang mga forms na yan. And the last form for birth, ito yung anti-plagiarism at declaration of absence of conflict of interest. Bakit? Kasi po pinapatunayan na ang inyong pananaliksik ay iyong gawa. Hindi mo pinattern sa iba, dinideclare mo, at ang maganda po, ayan, magkakaroon po ng screening sa anti-plagiarism. May system po. Parang Turnitin, etc. or ano bang apps ang ginagamit ng DO to check the, alam niyo na po, percentage, ang ating so 15% below. Yun po ang pero wag niyo muna isipin yan kasi proposal pa lang naman. Pag na-approve na po kayo, ayun, dun nyo na medyo himayin. Alright? So, for non-birth, ito na, sa magpapapromote, ayaw mo ng birth, medyo mahirap, konti ang mabilis ang deadline. Kailan ang deadline po nito? June 30. Kailan ang memo for MT and MT1, MT2? first week or June, second week of June, syempre kakalapin yung pa naman yung mga ano na yan, di ba? Now, kung ang habol mo is, meron ka nang nagawa pala dati, but hindi mo na-submit sa DO, then this is your time. Kasi tumatanggap na ngayon ng DO ng completed non-birth papers. You just have to follow what are the requirements. Ang deadline nila June 30, pero deadline yata according to Ma'am Amsi kanina was June 7. So you still have ample time from today bago mag June 7 to gather what are the requirements needed para matatakan ang iyong ginawang completed research sa DO para makakuha ka ng 12 points. Tama? So ask kasi po, marami talagang nahirapan sa research noong nag-apply for MT. Ngayon, hindi na kayo masisiro. Please, just comply with what's the needed requirements. Okay? Alright. May tanong po ba? Excuse me. Okay, ito na po yung ating sample po ng proposal. So, ito yung reviewed by, so kung we have first yung title mo, sino yung proponent, and then rationale, alam niyo na po yan. So, importante sa AR po yung merong timeline ha. AR, 6 months duration. So, kung natapos mo yung research mo in 6 months, AR siya, pasok. Pero kung may screening kasing gagawin dyan, basta ask your school coordinator when it comes to the proposal of your the timelines for your proposal rather. So merong may implementation and post-implementation, and then submitted ng proponent, reviewed by, ito hindi pwedeng mawala si coordinator ninyo. And then noted ng inyong supervisor, the PSDS, and your school head, the principal. Alright? So ito po ang kailangan po. Plus yung forms na sinabi ko kanina. Alright? So classroom school level proposals will be approved by the SRC. Hindi na po dadaan sa division. Pero pag district, division, region, national, of course, ang mag-a-approve ng proposal nyo is the division. If within the school lang po and classroom, wala na pong division permit. Sino lang pipirma? Itong 3 lang po na ito. Okay po? Ito lang kailangan nyo i-submit. And pag ito natatakan, you have 4 points. Make sure. Ayan. Okay po? Sa birth is May 28, pero sa June 7 na deadline nyo, kasi June 30 ang AR, cut off. Pero since June 7 yung sa MT proposal, ay MT promotion, so yung proposal nyo pwede i-submit on or before June 7 para may point na kayo. And then yung nakatapos ng research, hindi lang proposal, ito po yung format. Ayan po, research title, first name, so pwede nyo pong picturean, date when you had this completed, and come up with your abstract, 100 to 300 words. Make sure you have the keywords, the 5 keywords. And then acknowledgement. Sino-sino yung mga pasasalamatan mo because you're able to complete it. And then references, again, 7th edition APA format. And then appendices, you have the application form. Declaration na 2, anti-plagiarism, ACI. Kung meron kang survey form, research instrument, sama mo, and your resume, curriculum vitae. Ayan. So, hindi lang po ninyo, kung may kasama kayo, kayo na lahat. Okay po? Pero sa application form is the lead proponent that would fill out the form. Ayan. May tanong po, paper size, A4, margin, ayan na po siya, reference. So, Century Gothic, 11 points. Gawin nyo lang po ito, and yun po, within the deadline set, then you will have your points for research. Yun lang. Okay? Now, school research management. So, phase 1, again, wala nang approval ng division. Si school head, coordinator, and PSDS lang po ang pipirma. Phase 1, proposal. Then, screening nila, acceptance, kung okay yung gawa mong proposal, approval. That's it. Pag in-approve, kasi merong evaluation sheet na gagawin yan and ibibigay ng inyong coordinators, sa school coordinator ang result, go to phase 2 ka na. Actual conduct of your research, then submission of output again to the SRC. Mag-undergo siya phase 3 ng post-research, i-review. Pag in-approve ng school head mo yan, letter of endorsement to SDO, address to SDS to Sir Andre, Division Research Coordinator, SGOD muna. So ganito na po ang proseso pag-submit sa DO. Hindi po pwedeng diretso na buo, patatak, wala na po yun. Okay? Dadaan tayo sa tamang proseso na. May tanong po for this one, kasi if you can come up with all of this, like yung research ninyo natapos ninyo within 6 months pa prior to this meeting, then kausapin nyo yung principal ninyo para bigyan kayong letter of endorsement to SDO and matatakan yun. Okay? So again, the school management flow chart. Ito ang committee, if you see the decision box. If it's accepted without revision, unahin natin without revision, diretso school head. Pag nakita ng coordinator nyo na it's good, diretso na. Pag merong konting revisions when it comes to ninyo, babalik kayo sa proposal ulit. Okay? And then, yun ang pre-implementation. Pag okay na, actual conduct of research, yung mga nakagawa na ng proposal last year and you completed it this year, pwede pong isama. Papirmahin nyo lang po ito sa ganito. Yan, yung endorsement. Kasi nagawa mo naman siya within the timeline that you set last year. Pero if you're just coming up with your proposal now, pwede naman. Submit mo lang within the deadline. Make sure yung proposal mo, kompleto, in-approve. Okay? And then, kung gusto ninyo na medyo challenging pa, ayaw nyo ng school lang, district or division, go. Pre-research mo, call for submissions, initial screening, committee evaluation would be from DO na. Wala na po ang school research nito. Okay? If we're talking your proposal is for a district or division research, automatic DO po ang mag-approve. Excuse me. Okay, and then, ang phase 2, research management. By the way, sa evaluation, again, kasama po si Ma'am Amsi dyan for SPED. And then there will be a notification of results. Kasabihin nila kung sino ang pumasa bago mag-phase 2, bago mag-phase 3. So phase 2, progress monitoring, technical assistance, SGOD, and CID na po. Sila ang magsasabi anong okay sa ginawa mong proposal at nung implementation at ano pang pwede nilang i-inform ka, sila na po. Pati submission mo sa kanila na rin lahat. And then, ito ng phase 3. So, ang maganda nga po, may archival. Kasi the purpose there is for those with successful researches and if it could be implemented in different districts, then papatunayan using the program monitoring and evaluation. And it could be peer-reviewed, and then eventually, it could be, pwedeng ding gayahin or pwedeng nating i-share ang practices na yan sa ibang division. Yan po yung habol. For clarity regarding certification of research work, completed or proposed for promotion, makinig po. If your completion date is on or before December 15, 2020, si Sir Felipe po yun. But if the completion date of your paper is after December 15 up to present, you may secure it from the SGOD Secretariat, which is our new Division Research Coordinator, Sir Andre Pacheco. And then same set of documents for non-birth research needed. Kindly check the memo for details. When uploading the soft copies, kindly ensure that all documents are complete and combined in one PDF file only. Yung iba pong nag-submit sa amin, halo-halo. No, isa lang. Kasi isang beses lang din tayo mag-upload sa DO. Upload online first before going to SGOD to submit hard copies. Kailangan in-approve muna ng inyong school coordinator and school head bago sila mag-affix ng original signature. Make sure to have your documents received kayo mismo, and SOP in the division is to have your transmittal stamped. Okay? For more information, refer to Division Memo 6 to 9, Series of 2021, and contact your school research chair. Ito na po yung deadline for submission at the record services, ha. Hindi po diretso sa SGOD. If you have not been to the division office for a while, may proseso na po. You cannot just go there directly. May appointment po tayo, appointment form. So, pwede nyo nang isubmit, kumbaga mag-request na kayo ngayon para Friday, meron kayong, what you call this, yung approval for appointment, kasi sila din po ang magbibigay niyan. So what are needed? 3 hard copy sets, SDRC, School Division Research copy, Evaluators copy, ito na yung mga supervisors natin, and receiving copy ninyo. But I would suggest make it 4 hard copies kasi yung isa para naman sa school ninyo. Kasi the receiving copy, if you only have 1, then it goes to the school. Wala ka. So if you want to have your own copy, gawin mo ng 4 na hard copies. And then again, submit first the soft copy set, hindi hiwa-hiwalay. Picturean yung inyong, ito na po, dito nyo isi-send. Alright, so all soft copies in one PDF file. Timelines, May 28 submission for birth, June 30 for non-birth. Kaya lang inuuna natin itong sa birth kasi may announcement, shortlist of those who passed the initial screening by DO, June 2. Master list announcement, June 4. And then, those who are approved, doon na yung isasabit yung completed proposals for your birth sa region. Okay, June 7. Alright, so any questions po before I end?
Yes, Ma'am Ellen. There are some suggestions here dito sa ating chat box. Baka meron kang input. From Ma'am Alma, from Mar de la Rosa, differentiated instruction in distance learning to enhance academic performance of LSEN. Okay. And then the other one from Ma'am Alma, implikasyon. Ito na yung mga Tagalog. Implikasyon ng dulog marungko sa pagkatuto sa pagbabasa ng mga mag-aaral na may intellectual disability, level 1.
Yes.
And also from Ma'am Alma Valencia, the use of embossed paper letter for letter recognition of learners with autism.
Very nice. Very nice po siya. Kitang-kita.
Of the same din pala, yung kay Ma'am Alma. And then from Sir Aga, Ma'am, pwede po bang makahingi ng slides presentation?
Yeah, sure. Isi-send ko kay Ma'am Marvy.
Ayun. Ma'am, tsaka meron sa Sped Team Manila, from Ma'am Lina, paggamit ng Google Forms para mapadali ang pagsagot at pag-check ng mga pagsusuli. So,
saan? May kulang yon. Saan asignatura? Kasi it has to be specific.
Ayan. Ma'am Lina, take note po. Sir Aga, may mga questions ka po ba dyan?
Okay. Pwedeng magbigay ng lang po, dun sa mga nagbigay ng titles. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Tama po. These are simple, basic AR titles. Kitang-kita, may intervention. Ano yung gustong isolve? So katulad nitong differentiated instruction, in what particular aspect in distance learning? For what? To enhance academic performance of whom? LSN. Kitang-kita. So a simple title, yes, that's it. Correct. Implikasyon. Yes, ang galing, Sir Mar. Implikasyon ng dulog, marungko. Yes, sa pagkatuto, marungko. Dodge sight words sa pagbabal na may intellectual disability. Kasi, ano yung gagawin nun? Ano ba epekto ng marungko? Saan? Sa pagkatuto? Nino? Na mga batang with intellectual disability. That's it. May pagkatuto. Okay? Kasi hindi mo naman ilalagay yan kung walang pagkatuto. Tama? So, very good titles for AR. Good job. Ito, ang ganda, sandpaper. For alphabet recognition of whom? Learners with autism. Nice. Sige po, dagdagan nyo pa po. Again, simple lang ang AR. Yun na lang po. Pang birth nyo o pang completed research. Para hindi lang po kayo, yung mga sa research, may 4 points agad kayo for proposal. Again, in coming up with title, una muna, syempre magtatanong ka ano gusto mong isolve sa klase mo. Pangalawa, anong intervention yun? Pangatlo, sino? Para kanino? Yun. I-come up mo yun sa isang simpleng title, intervention, result, for what, for whom, within 10 to 14 words lang. That's already your title. So very good po. Salamat po sa mga sumagot. Thank you so much. Sana po na natutunan po ninyo.
Thank you po.
Okay, thank you po. And I would like to end my topic. So I will give a copy of this to Ma'am Marvy. The
Ma'am,
teacher
pwede bang magtanong?
Ay, sige po, sige.
Ayan, sir. May tanong po si Ma'am Ace tungkol doon. Kung pwede daw po mag-develop ng tools na makakatulong doon sa mga Head Start and Gifted with Talented, pero link doon sa action research.
Yes, pwede po.
Okay po.
Nako, matutuwa si Ma'am Amsi niyan. Ma'am Amsi, di po ba? Alam mo, maganda yan.
Yes. Bukas mag-validate kami ng tool eh.
Yun, ma'am. Yung TalkFe nga po, ma'am di ba? Pwedeng gamitin yan for intervention. Kung ginawa nyo na. Go, write it down. Yun lang ang kulang.
Thank you po.
Thank you. So, may tanong pa po. Ayan, so basta po madali lang ang research. Importante lang, may tanong ka, gusto mong patunayan, may gagamitin kang intervention, prove it. Huwag kailangang masyadong complicated na statistics, okay? Simple statistics will do because what matters is the proof that your intervention made an effect, made an impact to the respondents, to your pupils, or to whoever you want your research to be developed on. And again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone. Maraming salamat po. And I would like to leave you with this short saying lang po. The teacher is the communicator. Pedagogy is our driver. And technology is the accelerator which would help us discover what innovations are available to us in this new normal. Importante, may tanong, may pananaliksik na gagawin, at makisalamuha sa kapwa para malaman mo ano ba yung mga magaganda pang ideas, interventions that we could use to help our children with special needs. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I am Ma'am Cabaron from P. Gomez Elementary School. Sana po may natutunan kayo. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Ellen.
Thank you.
And Sir Idroy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Ellen. We
Welcome
can
po.
feel your passion and your energy from here. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Ma'am Ellen.
Thank you.
And thank you for inspiring us and guiding us to write our action research, whether action research or verb, and the nature of the basic and action research. So take no pictures of the deadline and heads up for master teacher aspirants. On a personal note, so there's a lot of interesting research that we can explore now so that we are in the new normal. So let's spend the time, the effort, and the courage to start doing researches. Now, okay, so reminder, evaluation link is now open, Sir Idroy, Sir Aga. So please fill in the forms correctly. Name and school will be reflected in your certificate. Just type your DepEd email accurately and receive your certificate later. So the link will automatically close after an hour. For those who registered earlier, please register again because the link was reset. Okay? So, reminder po yon. Okay, so, wow, ang daming natutunan. So, it's a very fruitful and interesting topics that we had today. Kudos to our fellow SPED teachers for your active participation. Ma'am Amsi, meron pa po ba kayong i-add?
Maraming salamat sa host natin, sila Ma'am Marvy and the team. And of course, our resource speakers, Sir Idroy and Ma'am Ellen. Pahingi kami ng copy ng PowerPoint nyo. Ang ganda ng mga presentation ninyo. Bravo. Kudos. Lahat na ng excellent work. Compliment. I am so proud of you. Kaya sabi ko na ang magagaling na teacher nasa kinder at SPED. Proud supervisor parati. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for being with us today despite your free day nyo ngayon. Pero marami naman tayong natutunan kaya sabi ko yung finale na Sped Professional Meeting kailangan lahat kung pwedeng lahat isali. Nagawa naman natin ang paraan. Kasi ang natin ngayon is empties na lang at saka pero magagamit ninyo yung mga certificates ninyo for your IPCRF. So sana makatulong din sa inyo. So good afternoon. Take care of yourselves. Always remember health is wealth. Okay?
Thank you, Ma'am Amsi.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Ma'am Amsi.
Ang gagaling nyo. Talo na ako. Hindi na ako magsasalita. Kayo na lahat. Next time sa next professional meeting, iba naman.
Yes, Ma'am Amsi. So thank you po once again, Ma'am Amsi. And I would like to take this time to thank our technical working group committee for making it happen. For program and PowerPoint, Ma'am Marvy, Ma'am Maylene De Carlos, Ma'am Melinda Castro. For the certificates and evaluation, Sir Idroy De La Rosa. Technical team, Ma'am Rochelle Grosse, Ma'am Ria Sereno, yours truly, Rosemary Magabilin, and Sir Aga Pito Abuda. For our working committee, Jenica Boholano, and Sir Richard Ariston, Alma Valencia, Evelyn De La Fuente, and Ma'am Jeneline Abocado. So that's it, Sir Aga. So any last words, Sir Aga?
Diba? Yung masasabi ko, marami ako natutunan sa araw na to, sa peer and dun sa research, no? Isa sa mga gusto ko talagang talakayin yung research kasi para ma-improve din yung kasanayan at skills ng bawat guro. Hindi lang naman nakatutok sa bata, bagkus dun sa pag-unlad na rin sa kasanayan ng isang guro para sa kanyang future. Kasi hindi tayo mananatiling SPED Teacher 1 or Teacher 1 lamang. Kailangan natin umangat.
Okay.
Thank you, Sir Aga. Ayun. So again evaluation link will be open for an hour. So everybody stay healthy and keep safe. Everybody.
Okay, bye.
Host,
Congratulations.
Sir Aga signing off. Thank you.
Head start bukas Head start.
Thank you, teachers. Thank you, Ma'am Amsi.
Congratulations,
Thank
Ma'am
you, ma'am.
Rosemary.
Thank you po.
Galing mo pala, na-discover natin. Ang galing mag-host.
Thank you, ma'am. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat po.
Parang ganito.
Ma'am Amsi, Sir
Ah,
Aga. Thank you po.
Ma'am Rochelle. Hindi ba natin? Salamat.
Thank you po.
Ma'am Ria, kanina, nakita ko kayo lahat. Pero double gadget ako. Double earphone.
Thank you po.
Bye.
Bye po.